Check, check, 1 2 1 2. Yes, we are having technical difficulties. I wanted to get on Bybit and show you guys the trades and everything, but unfortunately, I can't live stream with a VPN on. It's just gonna make it terrible for the viewing experience, and I just don't want that to happen. I want you guys to have the best viewing experience. Happy Sunday to the world! 2 days after Christmas, and my Christmas present came late, but Santa delivered in the end. He just had to, do some things in the background. I asked Santa for a $28,000 Bitcoin, and guess what we got last night? A $28,000 Bitcoin. Let's go over and switch over to the face cam. Hello, how you doing? Good morning. I just got out of the shower. I just woke up, and I'm kind of angry because last night I went to bed at 7 a.m. in the morning, and I said, crypto, wake me up before you go. And crypto did not wake me up. Crypto just went on without me. All right, so we had the ETH breakout, which, not gonna lie, I'm kind of upset about. I hope it comes back down to retest that previous resistance because I was planning on being up when that happened, but I didn't get it. All right, I really want that trade. Hopefully we come back down with a lot of these coins slowing down. Please, Ethereum, come back down. And we can go ahead and get that re-entry on the retest. All right, let's go ahead and start talking about it. Let's go ahead and say hi first. What am I doing? I'm ahead of myself. Slow me down. Kyle Douglas, Waffle Boy, what's going on? First to every single one of the live streams today, even though we had 2 short ones. Ernesto, hi. Hello, how you doing, man? What's going on? John, the lean, mean, money-making machine, the man himself. What's up, Kite? How you doing, buddy? What's up, man? It's great. It's been a great day. I was excited all night. And you guys know me, I was in the Telegram chat, and as soon as we hit that 2K mark on the $100 account, I was screaming from the top of the rooftops. Todd, how you doing, man? Johnny, I'm having a little trouble. Yes, a little bit, just a little bit. Edward is the 3rd time sham. Nope, we're gonna work. It's gonna work this time. Mr. Thakas, first. I appreciate you being here, but there's like 16 messages before yours. Todd, yep. Scott, what's good? Happy Sunday, Kite. Happy Sunday to you too, man. Calling the IT crew, get her done. Jellyfish, sleep is overrated. We don't need sleep. Sleep is for the weak. We got Bitcoin. It's a stimulant. It's a drug. Keeps us awake. Danny D, BTC, let's go. Absolutely, man. Abso-frickin-lutely. Gerlandia, hello, peace sign. What's up, man? Stuart, hello there. Bitbird, ahoy. Hello. Funk Soul Brother, yo, bro, first time live in a while. Hey, how you doing, man? Well, welcome back. It's a great time to be live, a great time to be in crypto, and a great time to be alive in general. All right, so let's go ahead and start talking about some of the upcoming targets, what I want to see for Bitcoin, the price levels that we need to hold in order to get to what in the medium to short term. Let me know if you know who that's from. Not my favorite YouTuber. He has spunk, all right, but I don't know. Just not my favorite. All right, so let's go ahead and start talking about it. Let's go ahead and put our face cam over XRP because who cares about XRP? XRP is not doing anything. We are getting a double bottom on XRP, so we'll be talking about that here shortly in the future. All right, but as of right now, XRP. Get out of here. All right, so first thing up's on Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and large screen that. I don't know why I made my camera so big if I'm just gonna put that in the main screen. I don't have my green screen out to date. This is a Sunday live stream. Chillax. I don't want to have to do a whole lot of prep work. I just want to come here, talk to you guys, have a good time, and a peace out, eat some food, and do something else for the rest of the day. All right, so we were talking about this last night. All right, I over and over again. All right, we're gonna talk about this today. Monkey brain, monkey see, monkey do. All right, I've been seeing it from all of you. All right, not all of you, but I've been seeing a couple people start to freak out. All right, so let's start talking about the psychology that was happening that I continuously saw throughout this up run. All right, so when we got to here, Okay, we started to slow down on price action. There was people that were willing to take their profits right there. Okay, listen, Linda. If we are above a major resistance, it is a risk to reward. You're always going to have the available option to lose money, but there was a massive reward to be had. It just takes patience. If this, then that. If we are above this major macro, or not major macro, but range macro of $24,000, then we should target higher numbers. You have to think this was not the full move here. Okay? And all throughout this up run, people asking, when is it the time to take profits? Back and forth, back and forth. Listen, you have to wait for the market to show you what the top is. We can use support and resistance related to Fibonacci retracements, but that is just to get an idea of where things can land. All right, we won't know the exact top until there is an exact top. Okay, so I wait for a rejection, not a 1 minute time frame rejection, not a couple $100, a couple $1,000. Okay. When you can finally, on a 1 hour to 2 hour chart, see a visible rejection, not just a smaller candle, not just that, it has to be a higher time frame. And I like Hakanishis because since it keeps the trend going for as long as possible, the rejection is much more simple to see. All right. So this is the first rejection. Now, in the medium time frames, we are now above the 0.618 when it comes to the trend Fibonacci's. All right, we were holding below the 0.2836. We held resistance for a little bit around the 0.382 as we should, and then we broke up, and then we got past the 0.618, which is usually the case. Usually, what happens is on these trend Fibonacci's, we get above the 0.618. And then we hold it as support, and then we range for maybe 1 or 2 days, maybe even a little bit longer, and then we go up to test the 1. Okay, so the 1 is at about $29,000. Okay, I'm almost positive that we're going to try to retest 30, well, not retest, but test for the first time ever $30,000 coming up here shortly within the week. Okay, I don't know if it's going to happen today. I don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow, but with the Fibonacci being around that psychological resistance, more than likely we're going to have a top around $30,000, hold resistance there, and then see where we go from there. Now, a possible chance is that we kind of range in this territory here for a couple weeks or maybe even a month, and then we have a breakdown back down to 24,000, and then kind of do like a capitulation here, and then finally break up from there. That would be a very common thing to happen. The last time that happened was on Bitcoin back here. Okay, it would most likely just be a repeat of this pattern exactly. All right, we have a massive run up. We go ahead, we range for a couple weeks, and then we have a breakdown, and then kind of capitulate above the last range, and then have another crazy up run. Okay, so that would help build up a lot of momentum, but this bull run is not looking like the bull run from 2017. This is looking like the bull run from like 2013. Okay, so this could actually go a lot quicker than a lot of us are expecting, which is a good and a bad thing, because yes, we're going to make profits faster, and it's going to be a lot easier in terms of just taking breakout trades over and over and over again. But the more times that we get ranges on the way up, the more you can accumulate, and then each breakout trade is going to add a significantly crazy amount more than it would if it was just breakout to breakout to breakout. You need some range trades in there somewhere. And luckily enough, with this range right here, we got a nice short trade here. We didn't pick up the long, but we did pick up the long on Ethereum. And hopefully some of you guys picked up that long that we marked out on the double bottom here. Now, I hope so. I hope that none of you guys got wicked out last night. I didn't get wicked out, fortunately. My stop was right here. Okay, let me go ahead and get this a little bit larger here. My stop for Litecoin was right here. Okay, Now, this is the Coinbase chart. So did we get there on Bybit? That's 2114. All right. I don't know exactly what my LTC USDT. I don't know exactly what my... Yeah, we only got to 122, okay, on Bybit. All right, so I would assume my stop loss is at 121.14. All right, so that was a very close call. Don't get me wrong. I saw my profits go from $2,300, and in the course of like 5 minutes, we went all the way back down to 1,500, which is still 50% more than what I started with all the original trades. So currently, as we are talking, the $100 portfolio that we started exactly a month ago, the first trade that we took on the $100 account was this Litecoin long from the double bottom on the 27th of November. So it has been exactly 1 month to the day. Okay, so we still have all day to make more gains before I can officially say that that is our stamp. But at the current moment, we are sitting at about $1,920. So we were above 2,000, really good above 2,000 as well. We were at about 23x the account. Now we're at about 19x the account. So we'll see what that comes out to at the end of today. We'll stamp that in as our first monthly profit log. And we're going to keep it going. So my hope is that throughout the bull run, I can show you guys through my actions and my trades in the Telegram what a small amount of money can actually turn into if you have the right risk to reward ratios and the risk plan backing it up. I try to set lofty goals for myself, not because I want more money. I want to give away more money. I want to make sure that after this bull run, I can give away a lot of money on Livestream because you guys have supported me so much, as well as that I want to give some money to family and friends. And if it all comes from $100, I mean, that's just a win-win situation. I didn't really spend anything to make that money. I just took a little bit of time. That's all. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the momentum. Let's go ahead and check out the target on the RSI. So when it comes to the 4-hour RSI, we were looking at 93 as a particular target, and we got up to about 89, which should be expected. Usually a lower high is going to be what's going to happen here, especially on the momentum indicators to create divergences, go back down and retest, all that good stuff. Now, oh, my mouse just died. That's unfortunate. I'm going to have to unplug my camera and plug this into my mouse. All right, so essentially what I want you to really pay attention to here is how much we have retested to the downside on the 4-hour RSI comparative to the price action amount that we have actually moved. All right, this is a really good sign there is something left in the tank. All right, whenever we have a major up run like this, okay, what I want you to pay attention to is you see how we have barely gone down on price action, but we have almost gotten back down to the halfway point of the run on the RSI. That is an extremely good sign. We can either go back down to retest the 50, which would be amazing. That would be very significant. That would get us to $30,000, even probably a little bit further if I'm being honest. But we could also find support off of the 70 and stay in the bullish control zone. That is another availability. Now, this is all contingent on the 0.618. You can see that on the lower time frames, we've kind of just been wicking down to it and holding support. So more than likely, we're going to find support around 26.5 and then come back up and retest around the $28,000 mark. Now, I don't think we will break through it the first time around. I hope we do. I'm not going to be taking my profits on that one, okay? I'm waiting for a much, 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 much larger rejection. This is only about 4%. Typically, ranges are anywhere between about 10 to 15%, sometimes even more. This one was only 5, okay? So that was not a range in my eyes. This is a range. All right, this is like a continuation pattern. bullish pennant. Okay, so we'll see what happens. I'm just trying to not get ahead of myself here, because I really didn't pay attention to it last time we took profits, but we had our first rejection about $23,000, and then we took profits upon retest, but then we got past it, took a breakout trade, which didn't last very long, and we ended up getting wicked out 3 times. So I could have been up to about $3,000 by now, maybe. I'm just, spitballing here, if I didn't get wicked out of those 3 trades, all right, because I lost 30% of the account, all right? But usually when we get stuck in these larger ranges, you're going to have either 1, 2, or 3 staircases. Okay, I call these staircases. All right, we get these staircases and then we break through it and then create the actual bottom of the range. Now we got a higher low over here and we didn't actually go back down and retest that bottom, but you get what I'm saying. You can go back in time as far as you want to, and you'll see that exact method right here. We have 1, 2, but this was a single rejection. It wasn't really a range, and then final rejection. Okay, right here, 1, 2, single rejection, down. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. So I think there will be another run. Okay, and then finally after that we'll get the full rejection. So we'll see how it all works out. I'm just not trying to rush things. You can see that the 1 hour is already back down to the 50. Okay, the last time that we got a bounce off the 50 was all the way back here at $23,000. So this is what I was talking about. We don't have to go all the way back down to $23,000 to retest that support and resistance. Theoretically, we have already retested $23,000 support versus this, creating a massive exaggerated bullish divergence. So there is something left in the tank, and as long as 26.5 holds, I am more than likely to hold it. What's the deal with the Discord group? So I have the one-on-ones where pretty much, it's just me and you talking. I walk you through, we go over your trades, we set up a trading plan. I talk about basic strategy, risk management, all that good stuff. So the Discord is a part of that deal. All right. So it's a one-time payment, $450. You get the lifetime support through the Telegram and as well as the Discord. The reason why the Discord is not an open Discord, or you can't get it through the Patreon unless you go through the one-on-ones, is because it is not just my Discord. It is also Ceph's. Okay, so it's co-owned. All right, so there we have weekly meetings, which I will be at every single one coming up here shortly. And if I am going to miss it, I will let you guys know ahead of time. But pretty much that's a great place to share. But a lot of this stuff happens on the Telegram. Young Song. Hey, Kite. Hello. How you doing? What's going on? All right, so enough about BTC, boring BTC. Let's go ahead and start talking about Ethereum. All right, so we all know that the next major macro, we've been talking about it for weeks, is at about an $800 price level. Okay, if we go to the daily and we look at the averages, we can see right here at about $801 is the average rejection. Now, I have my support resistance a little bit above that because we did have a single rejection and a little bit longer wick. So I like to put my my support resistance kind of in the middle of the wick. That's what I feel comfortable with, at least, especially when it comes to those macro timeframes. So as long as we stay above $670, more than likely over the course of a period of time, we will go up to retest $808 or somewhere around there. Okay, I was fortunate enough to get my long off of this diagonal here and on the re-entry of about $595. So you could have gotten one of those two things. We were talking about this larger diagonal probably holding a couple streams back. So fortunately, we broke this downtrend right here and just blasting off to the upside. So my hope is I have not gotten my entry. Unfortunately, I did not have a conditional set up because I was stupid. And I was planning on being up when that resistance was broken. But here we are. So what do? Do I enter right now because I want to make money? No. All right. There is no valid support underneath me. And if I do use this as my stop loss, the risk to reward ratio is abysmal. Okay, the risk to reward ratio, if I took my entry here and set up a proper stop loss, that would be a 2.96. Poopy trade. All right, so I have to wait and see if we get a retest of the previous resistance, turn it into support, and then from there I can go ahead and pick up my Ethereum trade and then go ahead and trade it up to the top. I had it marked out as a 12.5 because I was being a little bit more risky. So we'll see if it will actually come out to a 12.5, 12.15. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. That's what I hope for. But if I don't get this trade, oh well, we've already made lots of money. There's no point in wrecking the account trying to catch a blasting off spaceship. Is it too late to learn how to trade BTC? Absolutely not. And I'm not just saying that to get you to, sucker you into a group. All right. Listen, you can trade a bull market. The way that you trade a bull market is very simple comparative to bear markets and ranges. Okay. Pretty much, if you want to play the absolute safest that you possibly can, just take breakout trades, let price consolidate, let those ranges, that top and that bottom, get solidified. And then, like we did the other day, take your breakout trade, set your stop loss below, and let it ride. All right. That's the easiest way to make money during a bull market. Now, the reason why I say it's not too late, okay, it's too late to trade BTC in a way that's going to make you massive amounts. All right. As a trader, okay, bull markets are not really what we're looking for. Okay, it's very nice because all of the money that we have accumulated from trading back in the day is now seeing expansion, but it's not good for trading. Okay, because we have to be way more patient. We can't take profits super early if we want to make the most. Now, there is plenty of other coins. There's Ethereum, there's Litecoin, there's EOS. There's so many other coins that still have historical supports and resistances that will be easy to take profits on, easy to trade. And those are the coins that you can make a lot of money off of because they're consistent. Once we get past those all-time highs, you have to wait for these ranges to form and then take the breakout trade, hold on to it for a little bit longer so funding kind of eats it up. But pretty much, in 1 month during a bull market, we have made a ludicrous amount of money comparative to what we started with. We started with $100. Now we're up to 2,000. I mean, if we can go ahead and do that again this month and 20x our account, we'll be at 40 grand. And then we'll be at 40. That would be 800 grand the next month if we 20x'd again. I don't think we're going to 20x again, okay, because I've dropped my risks down. We're still using about 10% risk until we get to $10,000 on the account. Once we get to $10,000, I'm going to be dropping it back down to about 5% risk. And then from there on out, using about 5% risk. And then once we get to 100 grand, I'm going to be using about 1% risk. Would a BTC long with a stop at 26,400 be too risky? On the smaller time frames, no. All right, on the larger time frames, yes, because we haven't got a bounce on the larger time frames. Let's go ahead and go to Bitcoin. Okay. So our 0.618 is at about 26,600. Call it even. Okay. All right, so let's say that we're trying to look for a bullish reversal here off of this rejection. So first off, I kind of see a descending wedge, which is a bullish reversal pattern. So we're looking for a double bottom here. Let's go ahead and check out let's check out the 30-minute. Okay, 30-minute has gotten a rejection off the 50. I don't like to see that. It's not the most bearish thing in the world because it is a smaller time frame. If like the 4 hour, that's kind of like where I start to really look for that 50. If the 4 hour got a rejection off the 50, I would say don't enter any long. Let's go to the 10-minute. Okay. All right. So we have a bullishly diverging RSI here. Okay. We're getting the same low on the RSI, but lower lows on Bitcoin. So it looks like we're about to go into a triple bottom on the 10-minute RSI. So most definitely, it looks like that could be a possibility. I don't like playing smaller time frames like that, man. So when I say this, it's not that I recommend it. It's just there is a possibility here. I would say wait until we get like a green candle on the 5-minute chart, signifying that we are going to be bouncing somewhere around this region, because we might wick through this but then come back up to it. So I'll just wait. But, you know, kind of look for this region as support, set your stop loss below, but we can always kind of wick lower, especially when people are taking profits and FOMOing. Volatility is going to be all over the place, so watch out. Is the BTC CME gap retest even a thing anymore? Monday morning we can fly 747 through it. I don't look at CME gaps. All right, I'm gonna be honest. They're useless to me. All right, they're good to know about. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people like them. I just watch my own charts. I understand that from a market's viewpoint, we want to go back and retest previous resistance and confirm support. And typically that's all a gap is. All right. So I really don't think that we're going to have the most catastrophic thing in the world. All right. But the deeper that we retrace, the more confident I can be that this 1 hour top here at about 27,774 is the actual top. So that way when we come back up to retest it, because don't get confused, we will. Because if anything, we always get either a lower high that's similar to it, or we get a double top. Already kind of slipping through. See what you already got wicked out. I told you. See, this is what I was talking about. There's so many people last night that took their profits early and then got upset because they could have made more money. And that's why I'm not afraid to hold on to the trade. Yeah. I'm on, what am I on? I think I'm on 50x leverage. All right. So we're already back down to $1,670. So since the beginning of the live stream, we've gone down, you know, $250 on our portfolio. But you have to be willing to hold it in order to make sure that you get the correct exit. All right. So on Bitcoin, I am on 50x leverage. Okay. So since we hit this top, I have lost 300% profit. Okay. But I don't get scared. I don't exit my trade. I'm letting it stamp in its own top. And then once we come up to retrace and retest, I'll be taking my profits. And if we get past it, I'll be taking a breakout trade from there. Simple as that. All right. So, and like I was saying, on the way up this, people were taking profits around $27,000, which is perfectly fine. All right. In the grand scheme of things, you kind of got a really good exit. We're now down below that. So don't look at it as a bad thing. All right, and they're always trying to find a place to re-enter. And I'm almost positive that they're watching the 5-minute chart and watching all these small moves happen. I don't go lower than the 1 hour chart nowadays. I really don't. Unless I'm looking for like the most incredible entry I can possibly get for whatever reason. The 1 hour chart, there's no reason to go below that. Hey Kite, new here, but watch some vids. Do you still use Market Cipher, and do you think it's relevant, and will your strategy on channel using MC still work? So I am more than confident that my strategy with Market Cipher will still work, but it's not the preferred way that I make trades anymore. My job is to make trading as simple and easy and as least time consuming as possible to make sure that the average person can make a significant amount of money, and as well as that, still have a life. All right. When I first started trading, and this was not Market Cipher's fault, but it definitely added to it because I spent so much money up front on a tool that I didn't even know how to use. So I literally spent like 24 hours sometimes. If you look back at my older live streams, I used to live stream for like 16 hours straight. All right. And I would literally sit in front of the computer all damn day. Okay. That is not how you trade. okay? One that is going to increase anxiety, make you overthink certain moves. There is nothing beneficial that ever has come from me sitting in front of the computer longer. All right. That's why I tell you guys, think like a robot. Don't have emotions. All right. We break above this line, beat boop, enter trade. All right. If we don't go below the line, beat boop, shut down system. Wait until you get an alert that tells you this is the next place to either enter or exit. Okay. Don't fall for. Listen, your biological computer that is your brain is working against you 1,000 days out of the year. Okay. It's not there to help you. You have to separate. How's the $100 account? Last night at about 6 a.m., we peaked at about $2,300 on the $100 account. So that's not what it's sitting at right now. Right now we're sitting at about $1,700, but that is still 70% added to the account overnight. So, cha-ching, money. How do you prevent liquidation? Have a stop loss and make sure that you calculate your leverage correctly. I will be putting out a short video about 5 to 10 minutes explaining on how to make a trade using the leverage calculator. Okay. I've showed it off in live streams many times before, but I want to have a short video that is easy to go watch so that you can either go back to refer to it, or if none of you guys have ever seen me use the leverage calculator. I was up late one night on some hallucinogens, and I made a formula on how to calculate risk, and someone put it into a calculator, and it has been the most useful thing in my trading career to this day. But liquidation is not a bad thing, okay? A lot of the times when I'm taking breakout trades that are based off of conditional markets, I use the liquidation as stop loss, okay? So it does take a little bit more fees to get liquidated, but that being said, it's better than not having a stop loss at all. And then let's say you don't wake up to an alert and you don't set your stop loss, and then we come all the way back down. That's not good, because let's say I was using 10% margin, 50% risk, which means I'm risking 5% of the totality. All right. If I did not set a stop loss, I would lose the full 10%, 2 times more than what I was supposed to. All right. But I was only going to make, and that cuts your risk to reward ratio in half. All right. If you're willing to lose 10% where you're only supposed to lose 5. RJ, how you doing, man? What's going on? How do you determine your risk percentage? Okay. So it depends on your education level and how long you've been trading and what you're comfortable with. All right. I would say think about what your end goal is. Okay. What are you trying to get to? All right. So if you have $100,000, okay, you can use 1% risk, which is $1,000. And if you hit a 10 risk to reward ratio trade, you make 10 grand. Okay, but if you lose, you're only going to be losing $1,000, which is a lot of money, but comparative to what you are worth, okay, in terms of your trading portfolio, that's nothing. You can lose that a couple times and then make a good trade and then go net positive once again, okay? But if you were risking 100%, yes, you would make $1 million in the trade, but then you would lose everything. So the main strategy that I've had when it comes to smaller portfolios is you have to be willing to lose everything in the beginning, and as you grow the portfolio, you slowly reduce your percentage risk, but you're still making the same amount of money from trade to trade. Okay, so the first ever trade that I made on the $100 portfolio, I used 100% risk. Well, 80% risk, but we'll just for the sake of things say 100%. All right, so I went from $100 to $550. Then I used about 20 to 25% risk, which means I'm using $100 risk just like I was using before, but I'm not using my entire portfolio. And then we went from $500 to $1,000, and then we dropped it down to 10% risk. So I'm still using $100. So if I hit a 10 risk to reward ratio, I'm still going to make 1,000. All right. But it's only 10%, 1/10 of the entire portfolio. So then once we get to 10,000, I'm going to drop it down to about 5% risk, okay? Which means I'm going to be using about $500, okay? And then once I get to 100 grand, I'm going to be using about 2 to 1% risk, so on and so on and so on. The ultimate goal is to have it to the point where you can use a fraction of a percent, but still make an actual living off of trading. That way, if you lose, it's so insignificant, it's not even funny. But if you win, you can buy a new car. All right, that's the point of trading. All right, so hopefully that kind of stuck somewhere. And like I said, I'll be putting out that video on the risk reward calculator showing you how to calculate your leverage based off of what you want to risk in your margin and all that good stuff. That way, more people have access to that kind of information. Which exchanges are safe to trade with leverage in the US? Do I need a VPN? You will need a VPN. I recommend Bybit. Now, there is a conversation to be had. What's going to happen to all of this? The way that we make money, the way that I trade, if these crypto regulations go through, because they're talking about if you are sending more than $10,000 to a wallet in a month, you have to therefore require certain information about the owner of that wallet. This has not been passed yet, okay? And for the first time in a long time, I agree with this. The Democrats are actually talking about rolling those regulations back. And the banks are fighting it pretty hard because they're the losers in all of this. But they're actually talking about rolling those back. So I'm not too afraid of it, but it is something that we have to watch out for, because if that does come true, that ruins a lot of things for me and you, okay? Hopefully there'll be some sort of workaround, but that will be an interruption in the flow of my system at least, all right? Let's see. XRP though. We'll talk about XRP for a hot second. XRP, it's taken its dear old time, but we are getting a double bottom. All right, so if we go ahead and break 37 cents, the next target is 60 cents. Okay, so that's the next available trade on XRP. Quite massive, if I do say so myself. That's going to come out to about a 12 if you have it, nicely spaced out. All right, so let it do its thing. It's going to take some time, but I don't think XRP is done yet. We're holding exactly where we're supposed to be. Let's go check out that 4-day RSI and see how it's doing. We could be possibly a little bit lower than the 50, but as long as we're holding in that general region, that's what we want to see. All right, so we are at 41. All right, you don't want to see that, but we still have plenty of time until this candle closes. So this is not set in stone. All right, the daily is in the oversold territory, so that's already a good sign. All right, but this, like I said, I've talked about this many times before. We are holding in a cradle formation. If you don't think that has the power to turn us back around, lickety split, you are sorely mistaken. I hope XRP crumbles, but for the sake of many people's portfolios out there, it is not over yet. And Litecoin, all right, our next major macro is at 141. Okay, so we wicked very close to 141, but we haven't quite gone up to retest it on the averages. Okay, so we got to about 139. All right, now unfortunately, I did have my take profit at 139, but I said, well, the resistance is at 141.62. All right, so I moved mine to 140, which is unfortunate. Okay, very unfortunate. All right, that we were literally like 75 cents away from getting my take profit, and then we dumped down. But good thing is it looks like on the short-term time frames and off the wicks, we are kind of getting a double bottom off of the previous resistance, which is what you love to see. Let's go ahead and check out the RSI, see if it's getting a bounce off the 50 anywhere, telling us that we possibly need to hold on to the trade and that we're just going to blow past 140, like we did with, the $80 range, or the $80 range. All right, so that's the 4-day. I don't want the 4-day. I want the 4-hour. All right, so let's go ahead and bring up the RSI here. All right, so you can see we have pretty much returned back down to retest this resistance right here, about 114 on the RSI. So if we turn around here at around the 60 mark, we're going to get a very, very nice pop. All right. But like everything, I kind of want it to come back down to the 50. But you can see here, we have almost done a 50% retrace. Let's go ahead and put some Fibonacci's on this. Yeah, we have already done a 50% retrace with literally like probably 15% the amount of price action that was used to get to this point now. So that's what you love to see. We're using less momentum to get up than we actually are to get down. Do you use 50x leverage on every trade? No. Okay. I set up the calculator a bunch of different ways. All right, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You know, obviously I can show you this, but we're going to put it into a video. All right, so this is the leverage calculator. Okay, this is the formula that I made when I was on drugs. All right, I don't know how I thought of this. And what was really cool is because it kind of just popped out of nowhere, because I use them as tools. Okay, I don't use them to party and to look at bright lights. All right, that's fun, but I use them in order to push my consciousness towards a certain direction, to think of creative perspectives, to figure out solutions to problems that I previously couldn't. All right, so I thought of this formula in order to calculate leverage to make sure that everything is sound. All right, so let's say that I have a $2,000 portfolio, which hopefully by the end of these trades I will. All right. Let's say that I want to risk 5% of my portfolio. I can set this up a bunch of different ways. All right. I can either use 100% of my account as margin and then use 5% risk. And then that will give us 2x leverage with, 3,900 contracts. Or I can use 5% risk with 5% margin, which is our risk, with 100% willing to lose from the margin. All right, which will give us 39x leverage. So I'm going to make the same exact amount of money, and I'm going to lose the same exact amount of money if I win or lose the trade, but my leverage is significantly higher. You might be going, well, why would you want to do that? That makes no sense. You're going to be paying more in fees. No, you're not. Your fees are calculated off of your contract size, okay? So with both solutions, using more margin and using less margins, we have the exact same contract size. Therefore, our fees are exactly the same. So why would I want to use this setup right here? All right, let's say I'm taking a conditional breakout trade. Okay, I can't set up a stop loss when I'm using isolated perpetual. I can when I'm using USDT, which is a plus. All right, but I can't when I'm using isolated perpetual. So this way, I'm using my liquidation as my stop loss. All right. So if I have a 1% stop loss, I'm using 100x leverage. All right. Which will make it so you have a lot more in terms of contract size. But that's just because your stop loss is less. If I went to, 6% stop loss, I'm using significantly less contracts. All right. A little bit less than margin. Typically on my real account, this is the exact setup that I use. I use about 1 to 2% risk. So what I usually do is I use about 8% margin and then 25% risk. And I usually have about, a 2 to 1.5% stop loss. That's typically what my trades look like. Okay. Because that way, all right, what is $40 comparative to 2,000? All right. 10% of 2,000 is $20. So times that by 2 and you get 2%, $40. All right. So $40 is 25% of our margin, but 2% of the totality. Therefore, if I lose this trade, I'm losing $40, not 160. All right, that's the leverage trading calculator. It's found in the description if you guys want to use it. Do you have a limit order for ETH at support? No. The reason why is because we possibly could get a wick lower than that newfound support, hopefully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for that wick to go past, and then once we come back up, then I'll enter that trade on market and then let it carry from there. Because usually if you set up a limit order on the first test, it's going to go past. But if you do it on like a double bottom, that's safer because you're usually going to get a higher low. Or, you know, if you're trying to get a double top, then a lower high. If we break down, though, least of my concerns. All right, if we break down, more money for us all. Kite boy, thanks for the extra stream. Absolutely. I got nothing better to do today. So come hang out with my family, you guys. All right. It's a nice chill Sunday. Oh, I was going to get Chick-fil-A after this, but it's Sunday. Why does Chick-fil-A have to do this? Always ruining my mood on Sundays. Like if I went to church every Sunday, I would want Chick-fil-A after church. Listen, Chick-fil-A is known as the Christian hotspot. All right. If they opened up on Sundays, maybe not early, like maybe they don't open up for morning, but if they opened up at like, I don't know, after church service, oh my God, they would make a killing. I don't know why they don't hire me as their marketing person. BTC nail biting? Not for me, man. My stop loss is all the way back down at 23,900. All right. That's a cool thing. All right. If you learn how to not monkey brain, all right, we are so damn far away from my stop loss. I'm so confident. Now, does that mean that we can't get our stop loss hit? No. All right. But it means that I can chillax and let the price action do what it do, baby boo. That's the premise that I want all of you guys to learn. Let price action do what it do. It's not up to you. All right. Jesus and sandwiches. Exactly. All right, let's say that they linked up with local churches and gave a 5% discount after church service if you can prove, like maybe at church they give you like a little card that says you belong to this church, you know. They'd make a killing. I don't know why they don't. Muhammad, I don't comment often, but the more I watch you, the more I like you. I could learn a lot from you. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Guys, we just hit 80 viewers for the first time in months. Thank you very much. All right. This chubby cheek little white kid sitting training in a bedroom. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. Happy New Year. NZT, thanks for showing us this. I loved the Limitless series. The television show, the movie. I just recently rewatched Lucy the other night. It's very intelligently made. A lot of people don't like the movie Lucy because they don't get it. And I don't mean to be like a hipster dude where it's like, you don't get it, man. It's about the disintegration of ego. You know, she stops feeling human, which is terrifying. But, I mean, it's the way things are going. It really is. Do you think it's possible, for the example, to make one BTC with low leverage if you have 0.01 BTC? I mean, over the years to come. Abso-frickin-lutely you can. Absolutely. Make an app for that calculator. That's actually a really, really good idea. That way you can kind of either do it on the go. I mean, the Excel spreadsheet is kind of like an app. I mean, you launch the app, you input, but I mean, I get what you're talking about, you know, make it available for phones and stuff. Maybe. I don't have the know-how to do that, but hey, I mean, if someone wants to do it, you know, We can cut a deal. All right. If you want to make the calculator and make it so that it runs ads, because don't make it paid. That's stupid. Free information needs to be free. All right. But we can cut a deal. We'll do, all right. You created the program. So you take 90% of the profits. I'll take 10%. All right. From the ads that are run on it. That's the deal here. Because I have no coding ability. So you can have the majority of the profits. But I at least want some credit. Just have service in the restaurant. That would be ridiculous. XRP, your thoughts. XRP is not over. All right, so we have talked about this cradle formation that happens on certain coins from time to time, where you have two diagonal supports and resistances, as well as sometimes a horizontal resistance or support in that same general location. So we have these two major macro diagonals, the downtrend that's lasted 3 years and the uptrend that's lasted ever since April of 2020. Well, actually, March of 2020 is the beginning of it. So we have this cradle formation here. And then more than likely, we'll turn back around. All right. This is ample time for us to hold support here and then for them to figure out their bullshit when it comes to the lawsuit. And then, you know, everybody's too scared to enter XRP right now, but right now is the perfect time to enter XRP, if I'm being honest. From a macro perspective, obviously on the shorter term time frames, you can go down and up like 10%. But as long as we don't slip through this diagonal on like the I would say at minimum like a 6 hour to 12 hour, we're absolutely fine. Damon S, what's up, man? Hello, how you doing? Happy Sunday, man. Crypto Addicted Snarf gonna be at 1,000 soon. I hope not, man. That's too many people to keep track of. Because you guys know me, I'm too nice. All right, not to be humble here, humble brag, but I try to make sure that every single person, I read every single message. Sometimes I miss one or two, but I usually try to go in chronological order, read every single one, and answer. So, I mean, if I have 1,000 people and I got to do that, oh my God. Now, and listen, I try my best to make sure that the Telegram, the Patreon, Discord one-on-ones are all affordable. But if there is 1,000 people watching me and I have to do like 60 lessons a week, I am sorry. At that point, congratulations to all of you that got into the group early, but the price has got to go up at that point. All right, there's no way. Because I still want to do one-on-ones. I don't want to make a course or anything like that because everybody handles things differently, and you have to be willing to really sit down with somebody and talk about their individual psychology problems when it comes to trading. I can generalize it to a certain extent because I've made a lot of the mistakes that a lot of you guys have made, but everybody is different in the way that they see the market, the way they see life, and you cannot, there's no possible way to teach somebody properly with a course. All right. I'm sorry to say, but there's not. So we might have to do classroom type setups where people can ask questions live, kind of like this, but in like Zoom and stuff, where I can see you, I can talk to you. There's an individual back and forth. You know, maybe like 2 or 3 people in one lesson rather than a one-on-one. Your teaching style is better than a lot of so-called professionals out there. It's because I'm not a professional. I've made all of the mistakes that you guys probably make. And I'm learning as much as you guys are. Throughout every single mistake that I make, I try to learn and grow from it. And since we're a lot closer to the origin point of my trading career, it's easier to talk about those things from a in the moment perspective rather than, you know, I've been trading for 10 years. This is a rookie mistake. You know what I'm saying? Squirrel, thank you. Crying. Why are you crying? Stop crying, you baby. Bitcoin. Find support. You must. I mean, we could possibly retrace all the way back down to the 0.382 at about $25,000. That would not be unheard of. Now, that would actually be a very significant rejection. I would love to play that range. If we can get a rejection here with our top being around 28 and our bottom being here at about 25, that's about a 10% range. So what I'd probably be looking for is, if that does happen, all right, on the 1 hour chart, I'd probably be looking for like a double bottom here, okay, with a horizontal resistance here. And I'll probably DCA a little bit more into my long, not a whole lot, probably like 1 or 2% risk. That way I can make a little bit off of this trade, like I'm making the trade, but I'm still in a macro trade here. And then we'll go ahead and take profits at the top here. And dependent on how our indicators look, I'll short that, and then we'll come back down to the bottom of the range, hopefully the 0.382. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to go down to the 0.382, but it is a possibility from a, obviously, we can always go back down to 28, 25.8, which is the 50% retracement. Let's see. Oh, can you add an entry price so it'll show what your stop loss should be? To the calculator itself? You add your entry price so it will show what your stop loss should be. Stop losses are subjective. If you want a more lengthy stop loss, it's not a bad thing because you're trying to work with your own psychology. The way that I look at things, like for example, all right, on Bitcoin, we entered at about 24,195. We had our stop loss pretty much right below that at about 1.14%. So I got wicked out of this trade already once, and I lost 10% of the portfolio. Now, considering if this is our actual top here, that's about a 13 restored ratio. So if we lost one trade, this now turns into a 11.95. All right. But if I go ahead and say, all right, I don't want to get wicked out, and I go ahead and do this, all right, now I'm only making a 5.83. So even with getting wicked out once, I am still making 100% more profit than I would have if I was trying to be safe. Okay. So I play a lot differently than a lot of people, but it's just because I understand the mathematics and the advantages to it. And I'm not afraid because I'm robot. Beep boop. Peruvian Crypto, hello. Is that your new nickname, Monkey Brain? Welcome to the chat, Monkey Brain. Get mods. There'll be a time and a place for mods, most definitely. Fortunately, we haven't had anybody come into the chat and really be negative in a very, very long time. Back when I first started live streaming, and when I started offering the one-on-ones, there was not a lot. There was like 2 to 3 people in particular that would come in and they would go, you're just a 19-year-old kid. Who's going to pay attention to you? Blah, 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 blah. Look where I am now, buddy. All right. I probably got more money in my bank than you have in the rest of your lifespan. All right. Not as a brag, but I don't see money the same way, and I don't see the utility of it the same way. So therefore, I save a lot of money and I make a lot of money. So therefore I have a lot of money. Kite, do you think you should hodl 70% of your capital? Yeah, so if you bought or made a lot of BTC around $20,000 on the break of that, okay, more than likely the retest of the bear market after this bull market is not going to be anywhere near $20,000. So you can hodl that. It's kind of like it's exactly what we're doing right now. Okay. What we are doing right now is we took a long position. All right. And since we don't have any historical price action, we are letting the market show us what the top should be. Okay. Because it's always going to be different. All right. Mathematics work to a certain extent, but there's always human emotions involved. So essentially, if you take exactly what we're doing here and you put it on a much larger time scale, that's exactly what hodlers do, okay? And then once we return back up to the all-time high, they take some profits just in case, because you never know. You never know, all right? But it's a win-win situation. If you take your profits and then we dip back down, you can always reinsert and increase your Bitcoin holdings. But if we go ahead and break the all-time high, you lose a little bit of buying power, but then you can go ahead and reinsert your capital and you're going to make pretty much just as much money, all right, within about 5 to 10%, all right? So it's a win-win situation, all right? Markets love to retest. That is their sole purpose, to find out the validity of a certain price on a given asset at any given point in time. So when you break a support and resistance, what do? You go back down or back up to retest. So we let the market stamp in a top here. Once we return back up to about $28,000, I'll be taking my profit. If we do happen to break past that, I'll be taking an entry once again. But if we see a rejection, I'll let it come back down. Simple as that. Simple as day. Rock, Rock, Rook. Sorry, man. He said, "What's up, Kite?" Hello, buddy. How you doing? Happy Sunday. Asmat, thumbs up, man. Proven Crypto. Hey, dude, can you go over how to eliminate monkey brain and ensure decent entry? I'll give you the exact advice that Crown Crypto gave me. Shrooms. Legitimately, that's what he said when someone asked him a similar question. In order to eliminate monkey brain, you have to create a separation from the watcher, okay? Who is the person who thinks these thoughts? You have to really find out who that is and identify with that person rather than the radar system that's installed into the biological computer to make sure that you don't bump into things. All right. So once you create that separation, when the monkey brain goes to do something stupid, the actual watcher, the listener, goes, "Wait a minute, buddy. Hold up." All right. And then gets you away from the computer or whatever stupid situation you're about to do. And as well as that, make the mistakes. All right. There's a thing called paying tuition. All right. In order to learn a lesson, typically when you go to school, you have to pay money. All right. But with government, financial assistance, you pay less money. So the goal is to learn how to trade for the least amount of money or the least amount of tuition as possible. So how do you do that? Well, you got to convince monkey brain that money is not the goal right now. It's the lesson. So you use significantly less risk. You can use the testnet on Bybit. You can use one contract trades. You can use 0.5% risk instead of 2% risk. Just make sure that the money that you are using to trade and potentially going to lose is significantly less. And then once you have that track record and you've made enough mistakes and you've really learned your lessons and that monkey brain is no longer an issue, then from there you can go ahead and introduce more risk, therefore more reward. How low do you think BTC is going to visit? Potentially back down to 25,000. All right. That's the 0.382. And typically we like to go back down to retest the 0.382 from time to time. So if we go ahead and take, let's say, I don't want to say that, for example, but the 0.382, when it comes to Fibonacci's, the most important supports and resistances is the 0.382, the 0.618, the 1, and the 1.618. Okay. So the 1.618 is at about 33,000. All right. Which is pretty cool to see. But that being said, we could find support around 26,000. All right. That could be a possibility. That's around the 0.5. All right. Or we can retrace back down to the 0.382. Or this is the problem. All right. We're always trying to figure out, we're trying to predict the future here. All right. The future already exists. You just got to catch up to it. All right. Don't worry. Hakuna Matata. Okay. The river is flowing. Don't try to stop. All right. So this is why we focus on getting the best entries, the best stop losses. That way, when these situations are happening, there's absolutely no reason whatsoever for me to get angsty. All right. I'm dropping hundreds of percents by the minute here. Okay. Last night we were sitting at about $2,300. And right now we're sitting at $1,600. I'm down $700 today. All right. Because we're letting the market retrace. But I know in the end what the end result will be. All right. So I'm just letting things work themselves out. There's no reason to try to predict that next bottom, because even if that bottom happened, typically we're going to see a double bottom and then a breakout above the horizontal resistance of the double bottom. So you would have potentially a safe place to actually enter a trade if you did miss this one. So you just have to wait. Just wait for the market to show you the way. It's like the Mandalorian. This is the way. Okay? The market is the way. Not your monkey brain. I'm talking about adding it to your spreadsheet to enter your entry price, and based on your risk factor, it shows you what your stop loss should be. So we kind of covered that. A stop loss is not a set percentage. All right. I think I know what you're talking about. Okay. If you guys are in the Telegram group, so I'll go ahead and show you this. All right. If you guys are in the Telegram group, all right. If you guys go to the main channel, the yellow icon here, all right, and you go to view channel info and you go to files, all right, there is a new risk reward calculator. This is the first one that was ever made, but there's this one right here. All right. So let's go ahead and download this and open it. All right, so this one went up on my TV. All right, so this one right here, all right, this one's a little bit more advanced. This one has DCA levels, all that good stuff, as well as that. So if, let's say I want to risk 10% of my portfolio, I'll put 20%, 50%. Okay, enable editing. Oh my God, it's going everywhere. 20%, 50%. And then let's say I have a 1.5% stop loss. Okay. You can see right here how much of my portfolio is at risk in this trade. 10%. 1 to 5% is good risk management. 5 to 10% is risky. 10% and above is dangerous. All right. And as well as that, you can have a calculator that is with the trend. So that way you can be a little bit more risky because you're going with the trend. And then you can have a risk reward calculator that is against the trend. That way, if you want to use a little bit less risk, because obviously going against the grain is not what you really want to do here, you can use a little bit less percentage. This was created by another member in our group. I forgot the name of this person, but thank you very much to whoever did this. It's absolutely splendid to see the calculator get continuous improvements. We talked about this before. My sole purpose is to put information out there, what I believe to be correct, and then people, through their individual experiences, will therefore create new methods out of mine and then share those with other people, hopefully. We need to learn how to piggyback off of each other instead of trying to find out a method and then keep it to ourselves. So that's what this whole channel is about. You know, there's a paywall, but it's $450, all right? I'm not trying to sit here and say, it's cheap, everybody go buy it, because that's more strain on me. I have to go teach the lessons. But essentially, it's $450. You get one-on-one lessons. You get constant access to other people that are in the same trades or in similar trades. You get the Discord group where you can have live interactions with people. My job is to create value, okay? If you hear Jeff Bezos talk about how, you know, how capitalism actually works, all right, capitalism is, it's not about creating a product that is going to have the most amazing profit margins, but rather creating a product that has the most value, and that is what's going to affect your profit margins. So it's a self-sustaining system. If I put in the work and make sure that the information is good, people can continue coming back. That is what I want. I want to make sure that I can reach as many people as possible, and that way everybody wins. Because there's no reason. This market is too easy to trade. Bitcoin is way too easy to trade. All right, we're past half a $1 billion. No, half. We're almost at $1 trillion market cap. Okay. When you have a lot of money in a market and a lot of people looking at specific places to hold support or resistance, it is more likely to happen. It's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So therefore, it's much easier to trade from a support resistance perspective. Stuff that has a very small market cap, that's more likely to be pushed one way or another by a single entity, manipulation, if you want to say that. And you can slip outside of the bounds of support and resistance where you shouldn't have. And that can interrupt and really wreck your account if you don't do your due diligence. So Bitcoin is the best coin to trade, but not the best coin when it comes to long-term holding profit. $8K account using 50% on a 10x and a 1% stop. Stop. All right, stop. You are insane. I hope you win, but don't do it again. Mr. J Squad, new sub here, great stuff. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming. I know you might be confused by seeing a little chubby faced white kid, but I think I know what I'm talking about for the most part. But that's the beauty of being a young adult, or even a kid if you want to look at it from that perspective, because I'm still a kid. I can just spout off bullshit, and maybe 15% of it is correct, but through my unfiltered, I don't have a filter. I think things through 1,000 different ways, and I eventually figure it out. If you stop trying that, you're gonna get stagnant, whether it's in life or whether it's in a career. But that being said, it's Lou Rock. Okay, Lou Rock. From here on out, I know. All right, thank you. Good to see you too, buddy. Hey, Kite, I've watched your vids for ages, just never caught a live stream. Love everything you're doing, man. Keep it up. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you very much. Bro, what happened to the Kite indicator? The Kite indicator was born from a simple strategy that I invented when I was first beginning to trade. It is a simple momentum-based indicator that takes multiple time frames and extrapolates them and turns it into a single signal. So it's really good for knowing the general direction that price is going to be flowing, but it is not good for entries. Okay. So let's say, for example, right, I'm not going to bring it up, but let's say, for example, that Kite crossing went over right here. Okay. At that exact moment, Kite crossing went over. All right. In the past, I would just go long. Okay. But this is the problem. There is no solid support and resistance underneath me. The next available place that a stop loss is actually going to help me is down here below this. Okay. So even if we went all the way up to $27,000 and taken profit, that is a 4.71. Okay. And setting our stop loss within this without any solid horizontal is just ridiculous. So if you are still using Kite crossing, here's what I want you to do. If you get a signal like this in the middle of the range, and it says that you're probably going to go up significantly. All right, see how we have a 4.71 at an entry of 23,200. Okay, so now I'm going to enter on the break of this resistance at a significantly higher price point, about $1,000 above my original entry. But now I can go ahead and set my stop loss below this previous resistance, newfound support, and to the same exact point, that is now a 9.72. Pretty much 100% more profit, but at $1,000 plus entry, because of the way the stop loss to entry ratio is. Okay, so that was the main issue. All right, you have to be willing to combine indicators and wait for the exact moment where it makes sense to enter a trade. Entering a trade just because an indicator says go long or go short makes no sense. You have to do so based off of support and resistance. That way your trade has a significantly higher chance of actually succeeding. Can we take a look at EOS? Absolutely. We'll go ahead and take a look at EOS. Let's go to Bitfinex. First, let's start off with the daily. Okay. So EOS, it's going to have a major run here pretty soon. I can guarantee it. All right. So we kind of have a down channel here. We can't quite connect top to top because that wouldn't make any sense. Okay. So we have a capitulation happening right now. Okay. Now, the apex of that capitulation is in about June. Okay, which makes sense. A lot of the times when we start these bull runs, we start it at the beginning of the year and it slowly builds support and kind of climbs. And then usually towards the middle of the year and then until December 17th, that's when we see the most growth in terms of percentage and on a lot of altcoins. So it doesn't have to go to the apex. We could break out sometime around March. All right, that would make sense. That's about 70% into the wedge here. So our first major horizontal that we need to get past would be about, so what I typically do is when I want to enter a coin for a macro holding like we did on Litecoin, we got our entry at about $66, all right? Because what I do is I wait for this diagonal to be broken, as well as that I wait for the first major horizontal to be broken. So let's say we go up from here, we come down, come up, come down, we form like an inverse head and shoulders, and then we have a breakout. Okay, so now we are above the first diagonal, the trend. Okay, that's the first major step. Now we want to wait until we are above $3.83, because from there we can go up a little bit, come back down, retest, and then from there it's all upwards growth. So us entering here is the safest thing. So if we go ahead and enter at $3.90, to the all-time high, that's about 400%. So, like I said, waiting for the exact right time to enter. Now, we do have a long-standing diagonal support, right, that you could enter upon, right, if you want to, but I'm just talking from a trader's perspective. Okay, as well as that, if we zoom out a little bit, all right, we can see that this actually could be capitulating and breaking out a lot sooner. Okay, so even more plus. All right, as well as that on the much larger time frames, we kind of have a double bottom here. So I almost guarantee it, once we get up to about $8, we're either going to see us get up slightly above it and then use that as support for a good while, or use it as resistance. But once we get above $8, our next target is $20. Pretty much exactly. There's nothing holding us back. That's our target. Once we get above $8, $20, as long as we stay above $8. If we stay above $8, then that target of $20 is a certainty. As long as this is true, that is true as well. That's the power of if this then that statements. Let's see. Should we re-enter ETH? Did ETH come back down? Hopefully. Crap. I have this problem on my trading view recently where if I switch charts, I can't move my chart until I pick something up and then slightly move it. All right, let's go to the 1 hour. Oh, yes. Okay, so we're getting that retest on previous resistance, which is what I want to see. All right, so you can see how the wick went further down here. All right, so we want to wait until price action comes back up. All right, and I would say closes above. Okay, like that's what I was saying. If we would have try to enter a limit order on that previous resistance, then we would have gotten wicked out. Most definitely. All right. So what I'm going to do is it's 675. Okay. So we're sitting at 675 right now. Let's drop down to the 30-minute. Okay. So the 30-minute did close above. So I'm going to enter that trade on Ethereum right now. Okay. I can't do it on my computer because I don't have my VPN and I can't live stream with the VPN, but I'm going to do this right now. So here's what we're going to do. All right. So my account is currently sitting at $1,500. So I'm going to do this live for you guys. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the leverage trading calculator. We're going to hit 1,500. I want to risk 10% of my portfolio. So I'm going to be using about 20% as margin and 50% as risk. So then we go ahead and we look at the trade that we want to take. Okay. So we're pretty much exactly where we should be. We're at about $76. So we have about a 1.53% stop loss. All right. Let's open up this again. 1.53. Now, when you input your stop loss, do not put a percentage sign. All right. So we go to ETH. We go ahead, we click it, and we go, I'm going to do a market trade. Okay. Because this is a breakout. And we're going to do 9,804 contracts with 33x leverage. Okay. Now, when I hit buy long, all right, instead of having to type in my stop loss manually, like the actual number that I want my stop loss to be, since we have 20%, which is our margin, on the calculator, I know you can't really see it here, but on the calculator, there's 5%, 15%, 25, 50, and 75. I can just click the 50%, and that will put my stop loss exactly where it should be based on the percentages. Okay. So I entered at $675. My stop loss is at $664. Thank you for reminding me about ETH. I didn't even see that it cut that far down. All right. So let's go ahead and check out the smaller time frame. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at the 1 hour. 1 hour coming back down to the 50. So you can see that even on the smaller time frames, look at this. All right. So this is the 50, that general location. Okay. You can see we got above the 50, came back down to retest support. What have we been doing this entire time? Getting bounces off the 50. So if we get a bounce off the 50 here, we should be able to continue this uptrend. All right. Now, I could lose this trade. We could just go down below the 50 and cut back into the range. That would suck. All right. But we see the opportunity. We're taking the opportunity. Let's hope it works out. And when I say let's hope it works out, the universe is hopeless. All right. Hope doesn't exist. It's a human concept. Stop hoping. Just do it. The moth into the flame analogy that we had the last live stream. So the risk is based off of what you have. Okay. So let's say that I have $1,000 available and I have no trades open and I want to use 10% risk. Okay. Here's what you need to do. If you're trading multiple coins. All right. So let's say I want to take Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. They all have trades that are available and I can take them when they're ready. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my chart and see the available risk to reward ratio that each trade is. Now, the first trade that I'm going to open needs to be the highest risk to reward ratio on my chart. All right. So let's say Litecoin is a 12 and then Ethereum's a 9 and Bitcoin's a 6. Okay. So I'm going to open up Litecoin with 10% risk, $100, $200 margin, $100 risk. Okay. So now I need to pretend that I've already lost that $100. I have $900 left. Okay. So now the next trade I open is going to be $90 risk and then $80 risk, just to simplify it. Your risk is based off of what you currently have available and, in the grand scheme of things. So as your account grows and as you have certain trades open, that available amount is going to increase or decrease. Does it make sense? Hopefully that answered your question. Let's see. Hey Kite, new guy here. Could you please give me some info on what the Telegram group and what exactly entails? So the Telegram group itself is broken into 2 parts. We have the general chat and discussion where we just talk about life, love, happiness, and trades. Pretty much everything under the sun. Oh, we got to get you added to that, but boy. Sometimes when people sign up, I don't add them to both channels. If that is the case, just let me know. So pretty much, this is where I post all of my calls. So, you know, the other night we were talking about the BTC trade, entry at 24,189, stop loss, blah, blah, blah. One thing that I'm really bad at, okay, so when I make these calls, okay, if my trade is contingent on a certain support and resistance, okay, and I'm trying to take a breakout trade, okay, sometimes we get wicked out. If we get back above to our entry, I am going to re-enter. You have to know this about me. All right. Sometimes I set up beforehand and I'm sleeping. I'm really bad at telling you guys that I re-entered, because to me, I think you guys already know that I do that type of stuff. So when it comes to these trades, I'm going to make this trade. All right. Tooth and nail. I'm going to make this trade. All right. And then we talked about the Litecoin trade, entry at about 124. We talked about the Ethereum trade, entry 675, which is what we just took. All right. And with the retest nonetheless. So amazing trade there. Yeah, so pretty much it's just calls. It's just calls. But if you wanted the lifetime Telegram group, as well as the Discord, you can sign up for the one-on-one. So you get personal lessons from me. You get lifetime Telegram, so you don't have to pay a monthly payment. And you get weekly calls with everybody. So it's a co-owned Discord by me and Seth. I taught Seth a very long time ago, and I am not afraid to admit it. Seth is a significantly better trader than me. He's inspired me in a lot of ways. It's kind of like where the student becomes the master. That's exactly what Seth was. Seth is one of those people that takes information from others and he manipulates it in a way that works for him and fits his play style. He's the role model that I want all of you guys to follow. Really a significantly well-rounded trader. I love Seth with all my heart. I'm glad to have the opportunity to work with a man like that. So it's a co-owned Discord between me and him. And we kind of decided that if we want to maintain the value of the Discord and make sure that the people that are in it can give good feedback to others. So in order to get in there, you do have to either be a part of Seth's one-on-ones or my one-on-ones. That's the rule. So hopefully you understand. I would love to have everybody in there, but that's what we've decided on. Hey, Kite and crew, just got in here. Did I miss anything juicy? Just some downside price action. That's all, buddy. How you doing, man? Happy Sunday. Hopefully you had a good sleep. Faust, I missed the drop. Ooh. Ooh. BTC is about unity. Absolutely, man. It's about breaking down borders. You know, you guys know me. I'm a trippy hippie dude. I've been to the farthest reaches where time doesn't exist. And there is no separation. There is no self. It doesn't exist. It's an illusion. You guys want to know a conspiracy theory that I have? All right. So, I believe that governments put out conspiracy theories about themselves to convince the populations that they don't want something. It's reverse psychology at its best. All right. So one of the major conspiracy theories that have been going around for like the last forever, is a one world government. Okay. And they try to make it sound evil. Like they're going to kill everybody. And, you know, they want everybody microchipped, blah, 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 blah. All right. How do you know? Ask yourself, why does this insignificant monkey on the far reaches of the universe know about plans about the entire planet? You shouldn't. So why do you know it? Someone's trying to get in your head. If they can convince you that the last thing that you want is unity, a one world government, the entire human species working together as one, if they can convince you that that's evil, they win. A one world government, not a government per se, but a one world unity where there are no governments, is exactly what we want. That way we can all work together. It needs to happen somehow or another, or else we're going to die. So these covert humans, they're convincing everybody that they don't want it. When in reality, I think that's what we all want. That's my conspiracy theory of the day. So, if I end up dead on the side of a ditch somewhere, just know I drive pretty well. So, how often do subscribers of the Telegram group do one-on-ones? So, it's not just subscribers of the Telegram group, but the subscribers of one-on-ones. So, essentially, pretty much within you signing up, within like the first week, we're going to get you into a session. That way we can go over a lot of the basics and get you started. It's all contingent on how fast you move. Like if you take a session and you think you need more time, go ahead. Let me know. You guys can schedule them to your liking. Obviously, I'm going to be like, okay, this day works, this day works. I really can't do it that day. Can we switch it to this day? We're going to figure something out. Now, I'm trying to be nice, but I don't want you guys to take advantage of it. I'm going to try my best to get to everybody and do the lessons. And sometimes they last for hours. Sometimes they only last for an hour. It's all contingent on what you need. So I typically say about 4 sessions is what we're going to be doing. So how it kind of works is the first session, we go over a lot of the basics in terms of basic strategy, risk management, psychology. And then we focus on a lot more risk management when it comes to account flow, as well as that we start really working on a trading plan because a trading plan is essential. So how to structure multiple accounts, how to have a swing trade open, you know, scalp trade, spot trade, all these different accounts doing different things, making money in different ways. And then we focus on furthering your trading plan, ironing out all of the mistakes that are in it. And then we kind of just have the next session just to get anything else out of the way. And by that time, I'm more than confident that you'll be hitting your stride. So that's pretty much how it works. Fishy, what are you doing? Why do you have to eat food on my shoe? Why? Kite, can you explain what you mean on that you can't set a stop loss on isolated margin trades USDT? So on conditional trades, if you are on isolated perpetual and you are using a market conditional, you cannot set a stop loss. It won't let you. All right. You can set a stop loss once the trade is triggered. But if you're not there and you don't set that stop loss and it goes back down on you, you lose more than you were supposed to. That's why I use my liquidation as my stop loss on those types of trades. But on USDT conditional market, you can set a stop loss up ahead of time, which is really, really good. So, I mean, the only coin that I trade on USDT is Litecoin because I can't trade isolated perpetual. I would love to trade isolated perpetual on Litecoin, but I work with what I'm given. We're already up $62 on the Ethereum trade. Only like 20% too. What? Yeah, we're only up 15%. We're already up $67. All right, so let's go ahead and calculate how much money we're going to make if we win this trade here. So if we get up to 798, which is the macro, I'll make $2,000 off of that trade, putting the account at $4,000. Okay, fantastic. Are you this excited every time? You're talking about me? How can I not be excited? I got people that support me. I got money in my pocket. I got a roof over my head. I got a family that loves me. I am blessed to see the world in a perspective that not a lot of people get. How can I not be excited? I got a limited amount of time on this earth. So if I can be excited for 98% of it, I'm going to. All right, there's a time to be sad and there's a time to be happy, but being happy is the majority of the time. Hi, Crypto. You've seen the new site, Asset Dash, shows Bitcoin above Visa on market cap. I did not see that. That's interesting. The banks are shaking in their boots. Don't worry, banks. I'll help you climb up the ladder. Take my money. Hold my dollar. Good evening, Kite. Fun price action this holiday. Absolutely, man. Hopefully you're having happy holidays. And I cannot wait to have the New Year's live stream. It's going to be amazing. Isaiah, good afternoon. How you doing, buddy? Oh, for sure. Movies do that too. If you're talking about the one world government thing, absolutely they do. New song, I Told You, Conspiracy Music Guru. Parenting 101. Do you want to go to bed at 8:30 or before 9? They think they have a choice as to feel smug and grown up. You get to put on a decent TV at... how do we join it, bud? You can either message me directly on Discord for a $50 discount if you want to get into the lifetime and the one-on-one support. The reason why it's cheaper if you go through Discord is because if you go through Patreon, if you need to pay with a card, you can, but it's $500 because Patreon takes 12% of my earnings as their fee, which is respectable. They do what they do. It's much better than freaking YouTube, man. YouTube takes 50% of whatever you make. Scoundrels. All right. So at the end of the day, I still get about the same amount of money. You just have to pay a little bit more. So if we can benefit both of us, I get the same amount, you pay less. Okay. So in the description, it's Kite with a capital K, hashtag 2136. If you hit me up there, even if you guys aren't hitting me up about giving me money and getting these lessons, if you guys just want to message me from time to time, ask me about questions, I'm here for you. All right, I got nothing better to do. This is my job. I sit here, I do charts, I play video games. I got spare time, man. Let me know. Have you seen The Social Dilemma? Very interesting, listening from people behind the Matrix. I've seen it. I mean, but it's one of those things where everybody knows it. You don't have to put it into a documentary. We all know it. We're selling our souls, basically. Oh, and I said this in the Telegram group. Listen, if you guys get a message like this, oh, I think I blocked the dude. I don't want to give away. Oh, God dang it. Okay, this one right here. Okay. All right. I know you can't read this, but I'll read it out loud. All right, so I got this message the other day, and I thought it was hilarious. It basically says, you know, hi, I've been watching you for a while, but I got bad news for you. I've infected your computer. You know, you've been going to too many adult websites. I know it's you who's responsible for this. You know, I have videos of you doing this and this and this. If you don't send $3,000 to this Bitcoin address in the 12 hours, I'm going to send it to everybody on your contact list. And I just responded, buddy, I've been in worse places before. Thanks for the offer. Do me a favor. Send it to my exes. It'll be hilarious. So if you get a message like that, please troll them. Now, people have gotten messages like that before, but then had actual implications as well. So you have to take it seriously with a grain of salt. Like sometimes they're not lying. They do have personal information. Like some people that have gotten that message, they've had, you know, they've called their work and said they have video of them doing cocaine with hookers and stuff like that, or like calling their wives and saying that they cheated on them or something. Let the people around you know that that is a possibility, and then they won't be surprised if someone just comes out of the blue and says stupid shit. But I thought that was hilarious. Why don't they let us set up a stop loss? I don't know, man. I do not know. Stupid Bybit. Almost at 50 likes. Hit that like button. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. When ETH triggered, your little face. Hey, Kite, where would you be looking for a long entry on XRP? On the break of the double bottom at about 38.4 cents. That's exactly where I'd probably be looking for it. All right, because you can see right here, we have a lot of macro support and resistance underneath of us when it comes to the cradle diagonals. And we have the first bounce, create a horizontal resistance, come down, retest that area remotely. And then once we break that, we should return back to our target of about 60 cents, 64 cents, 60 cents, somewhere in that region. So, I mean, it would be a very, very quick recovery because it's a direct target. All right. So that is a huge availability. Now, obviously we have a diagonal here, so you might want to be taking profits a little bit ahead of time. You know, that would still come out to about an 8.66, not too shabby, with about 40% expansion on price. So you'll make a decent amount. Nothing to scoff at. Decent amount. What should a newbie trader be risking per trade on an 8K account with leverage? So, if you're not trying to go as fast as me, okay, because I'm trying to get this account from $100 to $1 million by the end of the bull run, I would say a respectable amount is, I would say like 100 grand. So let's go ahead and use the calculator. Okay. So in order to get $8,000 to 100 grand, okay, let's say that you added 100% to your portfolio per month. 1, 2, 3, 4. So about 4 months. Okay, so you really don't have to use a whole lot of risk. Okay, so you can see just from these 3 trades here, we have a 5.3, a 10. So let's say 15, and then we have a 12. So that's about 27 all added up. So let's say that we're using 2% risk. Okay, that means we're going to come out with about 52% added to the portfolio just from these 3 trades. And these 3 trades could last a week. They could last 2 weeks. And then you have a couple more available trades after that. So that's just using 2%. Realistically, you could add 100% to your portfolio in 1 month. And we've done a lot more using 2%. Pull it down! Fishy. My favorite thing is like getting fish like this and then like wrapping him in an RKO and then just, because he got such a big head. What do you want from me? What do you want? I don't have any food. What? Go lay down. Or you think you're grown. Go lay down. Go lay down. Let's see. Oh, I got that one yesterday, Raffle. Well, I'm glad somebody can relate. That's how I know BTC is doing well, is when scams are rampant. Which is sad to see, but it's an indicator, nonetheless. What do you want from me? Oh, your breasts stank. What do you want? Give me a hug. Let's see. Send a friend request on Discord to join. Thanks, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hey Kite, missed LTC at 124. Should I get in now? It's back at bottom of the range at 127. It's an availability. My entry in particular was at 124. So if you could catch it on a wick closer to that, your stop loss is going to be a lot better. But yeah, it's an availability. But I would say if you're not in the Ethereum trade yet, that's an even better option, even where it's currently sitting at about $67.7 or $677. This is only a 5.34. So yes, it's a good trade, but it's not the best trade that we have available comparative to ETH. So, I mean, if you want to. But now, like if you enter right now, okay? All right, so let's say you enter right now at about $127. You got to put your stop loss down here, buddy. And the take profit at the macro at about 140, all right? That's a 2.11. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. You got to make sure that you're making a safe trade. All right, that's also a valuable trade. And if you do it that way, it's going to cost you. Maybe you'll win, but it's going to cost you because you could have made a lot more profit. Using that margin somewhere else might be more effective. Hey, so I don't know if you already explained this, but I took profit on BTC trade. Should I wait for a double bottom to re-enter, or would you think it's going to bounce and go up from here? So, I don't know. All right, so I'm glad that you took profits. All right, taking profits is a big balls move. Now, obviously, you need to expect a certain area. If you're taking profits here, all right, as long as you're taking profits and your risk-reward ratio is above a 4, you did a good job, okay? Me, I play a little bit differently. I hold on to the trade and I wait for the exact top to be put in place, and then I on the retest, I take my profits. So what I want you to do is look on the 1 hour chart, okay? Use Heikin-Ashi candles. I can't directly say that it's going to be a single or double bounce and then retest. All right, it could be one or the other. But your best bet is to watch the 30-minute to the 1 hour. Look for a bottom to be put in place. Look for a retest to the upside, rejection, and then come back down. So let's move this and say that this might be our new low. Who knows? Now, what you want to look for is a double bottom. It could be any size, okay? And then what you want to do is either one, take your trade contingent on the resistance of the retest, or if you want to be a little bit more risky and maybe, just maybe, get a little bit more profit, you can go ahead and take your trade off of the previous support here. And sometimes the breakout trade can actually be a little bit more profitable than the larger trade. Okay, so let's say, for example, all right, let's go down to the 30-minute. And this is what I was talking about. On the 1 hour here, you can see that we have a single rejection with a significantly longer wick. If you move your resistance to about the halfway point of the wick, the top of the wick and the average top, that's going to be more accurate, okay? So let's say that this is our bottom, okay? So let's say that this is our top, and we're coming up here, we're going to have a horizontal retest, and then we're going to come back down, okay? So let's say that price action looks like this. All right, so you have two options. All right, this is your horizontal resistance. All right, you have two options. You can either take a trade here, all right? And since your trade is based on the double bottom and off of this resistance, you don't have to have your stop loss all the way down here. Since your trade is contingent on the break of this resistance, that's what your stop loss is going to be contingent on as well. Now, this is within a range, and you don't know if you're going to go fully back to the top. So you do want to use a little bit less risk. So if you're using, 10% risk, maybe use 5%. All right, you can always use the 10% on the break. All right, I'm not saying use it 10%. I'm just talking about because I'm using the $100 portfolio. You get what I mean, okay? So let's say that our target is this right here. That's going to be about a 5.28. If we shorten up the stop loss a little bit, we can maybe increase it just a tad bit. So if we go down here, all right, and we go ahead and go off of this entry, all right, now we have the availability of getting wicked out once, and that might suck, but that does increase our risk reward ratio to about a 10, all right, and if you want a little bit better stop loss, it still comes out to about a 6, 5, 6, with a better stop loss. So those are your two availabilities. Now, a lot of people ask me this: when should I move my stop loss? All right, all throughout this up run, okay, my stop loss has never moved, not once, still hasn't moved. Okay, the reason why is because I use the higher time frames. There is no support underneath us. We have to create it. Okay, so right here, until we put in a actual bottom, okay, if we put in a bottom and retrace back to the top here, then I can move my stop loss. Okay, only then. All right, and I have to have the breakout of the double bottom showing me that that is a bullish reversal. Okay, so when it comes down to the smaller time frames, let's say that I take this trade here and my stop loss is here. Right? This is one of the times where you can move your stop loss. Once you break this resistance, all right, your target is now $28,000. You can move your stop loss underneath of the new found support, all right, and then let it carry on. That way, you don't make a whole lot if you get stopped out, but at least it's something, all right. So that's when you can move your stop loss. Your stop loss needs to be based off of support and resistance. Trailing stop losses are for losers. They are there to make you get stopped out on market. That way you pay more fees. Don't do it. Hi, a stop loss on ETH at 664 seems a little tight. Can you explain the reasoning behind that? Sure, let's go ahead and do it. All right, so I look at the higher time frame averages. Okay, so let's turn off wicks here. All right, so the average high from the last rejection was at $670. Okay, so if we cut down to the smaller time frames here, all right, you can see that I have my entry. My entry was 675. I have my entry slightly above and my stop loss slightly below. Okay, so to the next major target of about $800, that is an 11.26 risk reward ratio. Okay, so if I get wicked out of this once and then have to re-enter, that makes it into a 10 because I've lost one and I'm making an 11, therefore I'm net positive 10. Okay, so if I went ahead and put a steeper stop loss, you can see that that turns it into a 6.3. All right, so even though I have the availability of not getting wicked out, all right, I am still going to make 40% less profit comparative to even if I got wicked out. All right, because it's a simple if this then that statement. If we are above $670, we will go to that resistance of 800. If we are below it, then it's not true. So that is why I'm willing to have these slim entries, slim stop losses, because even if I lose once or twice, I'm still making more money in the end than if I would have made the successful trade the first time around. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me get my trippy hippie background up here. Man, this 2-hour live stream has gone by very quickly. A lot of good questions. That's what I talk about all the time, guys. I say it over and over and over again. My main aim is not to sucker you into some group. All right, we have to pay monthly. All right, that is an option. All right, but if you guys ask these questions on live stream, I'm not going to hold back. I'm not trying to dumb down the information so that the people that pay money get the best. All right, if you pay money, it's not so that you get hidden information. It's so that you get one-on-one attention so that we can focus on the problems that are holding you back. That's the main reason. It's not to unlock some hidden way of trading. All right. So if you guys ask questions, if you guys don't have the money to get into the one-on-one groups, come to the live streams, ask the questions. If you need to ask them multiple times, do it. Do it. That's why I'm here. It just gives me more content and a platform to show that I know what I'm talking about as well. So the more that you guys ask questions, you benefit not only yourselves, you benefit many others in the chat that might be too afraid, or maybe they didn't even think of the question, but they need it. And as well as that, you allow me to continue talking. That's the main problem with playing video games as a streamer, especially when you're first starting off. You don't have a chat there to ask questions and hype you up and do this and do that. So a lot of people just sit there silently, and nobody wants to watch that. So the more interaction, the more they feel like somebody's talking back to them, the longer they will stay there. So it really does help me out to grow the channel. You simply asking a simple question where I can go on a 15-minute tangent. Are you still posting TikToks? I need to. I haven't posted an update. The TikToks, they're not like, you know, daily updates where I'm talking about small price action. The TikToks is going to be mainly for, okay, a new range has formed. Here's the top and bottom. If it does break, here's my expected new target. All right, which could take, sometimes these ranges take a week. Sometimes these ranges take a month. And then I'll update to the new targets and all that good stuff. Let's see. I have no clue why these Asian chick bots always latch onto my videos. I don't delete the comments, even though they're a little bit weird, because I'm a small channel. Even bots commenting affects my growth. So, hey, I don't even have to pay for a service. They just do it automatically. My friend was having an existential crisis today where he just was on his Snapchat and goes, I don't know. Like, seriously, guys, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing in my life. And I go, don't worry. You're a smart and handsome monkey next to a gigantic burning ball. You got nothing to worry about, buddy. And he goes, you're right. That's true. Actually, wait. You're right. Oh, this is so more messed up. On Zilliqa yesterday, it broke resistance at the 8.8 range, and it's now pulling back to test previous support at the 0.07 range. Could you give your input on that, Kite? Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and check out Zill. Okay. Didn't we do technical analysis on Zilliqa? Pretty sure I typed in the full word last time we did it. All right, were we looking at Tezos? God dang it. What exchange did we look at? Did we look at BTC? I don't know. We'll just do a new chart. Because I thought we did something with fib retracements. All right. Daily. All right, Zilliqa. It's going off the Richter scale, okay? I don't know if this is all the price action, but we're going up. I really can't tell from here. It's kind of in the same situation as Bitcoin. We have to wait for the supports and resistances to form. Okay. 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 All right. Um. All right. It's as simple as this. If Zilliqa stays above $2 or 2.8 cents, the next target is 19 cents. Okay. If we want to drop down to smaller time frames here. All right. All right. We don't have any support unless we come back down to about 6.3 cents. All right. But we could form a higher low here. And that's the next to the top of the range. So the next point to get into Zilliqa would probably be about 10 cents. 10 cents, maybe a little bit below 10 cents. Was it the blue eye kid? No. It wasn't the blue eye kid. It was my friend Joe. I have this group of friends that I've known since I was 11 years old. That just happened by fate. So I played Minecraft when I was a kid, and I used to make these servers and then post them online for people to join. So I did that, and then these people joined, and we started playing together, and then we invited each other to Skype. And this was back in 2011. And we still talk now. So take that, Mom. She's always talking about, you don't have any real friends online. You can't make friends on the internet. Mother. Yes, you can. Do you think there's a long to be made on SNX? I think it's very bullish. Let's take a look at it. All right. All right. So we talked about this the other day because we have some support and resistance here. We were probably talking about it on the 1 hour chart. All right. So what seems to happen is we got a fake out. Okay. All right. We do have a diagonal here, but it has only been 3 days. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. All right. A 3-day diagonal is useless in my books. All right, so there is a very, very small chance that we go ahead and hold support here and then continue this uptrend. All right, I would say everything is contingent on if we can stay above $8.08. If we can stay above that, then we will continue on up. We don't have any targets. Let's also go ahead and check out. All right, so we don't have a nice rejection here that I can really use. So what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way back here. All right, and we're going to go ahead and use this fib extension. All right, so you can see that we went back and retested the 1. The 0.618 is $9.14. So we're, fib retracements are an estimate, and then price action will vary. All right, that's why we look for that general location, but we're not exactly taking profits or entering trades on it. All right. So I would say that if we can get back above $8.08 and stay above it, we are going to be continuing on up to the 2.618 of about $12.38. Okay. So let's say that the 1.618 correlates to this high here. Okay. And we're kind of just bouncing between the top of this range and the bottom of this range, but we're seeing a small rejection here, and if we don't hold this diagonal, we're doomed. Now, that being said, I didn't really see this as we were zoomed in, but there is a much larger diagonal here, okay, which is going to vary on where it actually lands up. So that is actually a lot more viable because this one has lasted probably 15 days, 17 days. All right, so that's actually useful. All right, that's a diagonal that could hold. But I would still make my trade contingent on the horizontal. I like horizontals. I feel like they're safer. Think of like a twig roof that you can walk on, but it's not stable and it can break at any point in time. And then think of like a horizontal, like a solid floor. All right, I'm spitting all over the place. You're getting me excited. Thoughts on Tezos? Tezos, we'll take a look at Tezos. What is the ticker? We'll take a look at GRT while we're waiting for the ticker for Tezos. Bull flag. Okay. You gotta be careful. New coin, new price action, huge run up. All right. Let's hope that 32 cents is where we find a double bottom, and then break out of the bull flag. Let's go ahead and look at some of this. All right, that's all I got. I'm sure there was a much lower point from which this started from, but I would say next target's about 144. XTZ. Daily. Looking like we're trying to make a daily double bottom here with a horizontal resistance about $2.68. All right, so if you miss out on this bottom, don't enter until we cross over the $2.68 mark. Then that puts our target at $4.24. All right, so this right here, if you go ahead and enter somewhere around 275, that's already a 50% gain up to the next target. And then we have the chance of breaking above that and continuing up. Fishy. What are you doing? You're psycho. All right, so we have an uptrend here, which was broken. So we can go ahead and create a trend-based Fibonacci. All right. So once we break, and you can see that that's the 0.618 as well. So that makes a lot of sense. Going back down. Jeebus Christ. All right, so after we go ahead and break $4.24, next target is about $5.79. Fish. Fish. Hey. Hey. If anybody came in here, you can't protect me anyways. So just chill. All right, but the longer term target is definitely going to be $8.21. But we need to break this downtrend, which we kind of already have, relatively. Zil USD, not USDT. I don't think it's going to be that different, to be honest, man. Any particular way to distinguish oscillators and degenerators on altcoins? I have not seen that term before, to be honest. Degenerators? I'm sorry. I mean, obviously oscillators, momentum oscillators. Yeah, I can't really tell you an answer to that question because I don't know what degenerators are. If you could help me out here, I would appreciate it. Can you look at new? Yeah, a lot of these coins, they don't have a lot of price action. New, let's see. Coinbase, obviously, that doesn't have a lot of price action. There we go. Daily. All right, so we are still within the downtrend here. Okay, but it looks like we might be putting in a higher low and then capitulating here soon in the next couple of months. All right, so this is the most critical horizontal that I can see. All right, you can see this is pretty much the flip-flop from where we are, going to go either further to the downside. All right, so this region right here, 39.69 cents. All right, what I would be looking for in particular is for us to get back above that. Now, we need to get back above that as well as the diagonal. So don't be fooled. If we do pump up sooner and we get above that 39-cent mark, but we're still below this diagonal, we can always turn it into a descending triangle and then break back down. But then the next time it comes up, then we'll be breaking that horizontal plus the diagonal, and then we'll actually see the growth from there. The next major resistance after that will be about 65 cents, which is the horizontal resistance of this double bottom. And then I would put our target to about $1.03 after that. And then obviously continuation from there if we do break $1.03. How's my baby ETH doing? Oh, we're still sitting around that $680 mark. Exactly. You have to have pullbacks. We have to create new support. We have to condense momentum to have it blast off to the upside. So think of it like this. All right. This is all the market is doing. Okay. Capitulation. Think of like a gigantic spring and you're pushing it together from both sides. And then you let go. And it's going to go flying one way or another. Okay. And then all of that momentum is dissipated. And then you need to do it again. And then let it go. That's all a market is. So you have to have pullbacks and consolidations in order for momentum to be transferred from one side to another. That way you can continuously have up runs like this. Crypto Reiner? Rhino? Reiner. I'm your friend. Hi, Kite. Hello. How you doing, man? What's going on? John, XTZ, we took a look at XTZ. Catching another live stream late. What's up, Kite? How you doing, Crypto Chris? How you doing, man? Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Hopefully you had a good Christmas as well as that. Looking forward to the new year. Let's make it better this time. Let's do better as humans. Stop screwing around. Stop buying Yeezys. Buy food for homeless people. All right. Shibu Inu? No, that's my pug. He's half pug, half palpian, so I think they call him Puggles. And his name is Fish. Yes, his name is Fish. Can you check Link? It seems to be breaking out on shorter time frames. Go ahead and check it out. Link. Oh, I said his name, so now he's coming over here. What's up, buddy? Why are you crying? Why are you crying? Why are you crying? Am I not paying attention to you? Why are you crying? RKO. Let's see. All right, so Link. Yeah, back to what we were saying. Beautiful double bottom on Link with a target of $14.32. All right, you can see right here, we might go back down to retest it at about $11.74, but this is a textbook double bottom. All right. Bottom was about here, as well as that. Did we go down and retest it with the wicks? Kinda not. But get down. All right, you can see right here, double bottom. Okay. So after we break that resistance of the double bottom, like the actual target resistance of about $14.32, short-term time frames will go up to about $16. But let's see. Let's zoom out here real quick. All right. All right. So after that shorter term time frame, the main resistances that we should be looking at here. Okay. All right. We should be looking at here, here, and here. Okay, that's all that really matters, because yes, on the smaller time frames we do have that target in place. Hopefully this does reverse, but it looks like we actually want to make a much larger double bottom as well. You know, just an idea. So that's why we kind of use if this and that statements, just in case these ideas don't work out. But as long as we are holding below $16, that is the next puzzle piece. All right. We don't have to go all the way back down, but I would say we would probably see it retrace a little bit further than this, to be honest. Is there any reason why you're not using any indicator? I use RSI and MACD from time to time. I only use indicators when it comes to higher time frames. Trades are, I would say, indicators help you know when to not get into a trade and when to get into a trade, but they don't determine when you get into a trade, only if you should or shouldn't. Okay. So pretty much a lot of the times when I'm looking at the RSI in particular, I'm looking at the 50. Okay. That's the most important thing to me. It's the 50. All right. If we're finding support on it, we're getting rejected off of it. That's what's important here. Okay, so we are now back above the 50 on the RSI when it comes to link, which is a good thing on the 4 hour. Okay, so you can see the last time that we got a really good pump on a link was when we got a bounce off the 50 and got above it and then came back down, got a bounce. And as well as that, let's look at Bitcoin. You know, a lot of people were asking me why I didn't short the top of the range back here at about 24,000. All right, because we got a double bottom off of the 50 on the 4 hour RSI. That was telling me that we were super bullish. And as well as that, we broke past the resistance of the double bottom, meaning the target was all the way up here. So I didn't want to screw with any shorts. All right. Now we have a bearish divergence, but you can see that we're already almost back down to the 50. We have already retraced. Oh, didn't want to do that. We have already retraced 50% back to where we started from. So we started this up run at 23,000. And we have already retraced back down on the RSI 50%. And we've only gone down like $1,000. That's pretty good. So if we come back down to the 50, find supported off of again, and I see a significant bounce, I know not to, one, I can either hold to take my profits, right? Because we're going to go further if we get that bounce. As well as that, it tells me that don't short the previous top. That's what it's telling me, all right? Did you put a percent sign where your stop loss is supposed to be? Don't do that, or else it will mess up. But just restart the calculator, input all the information, and make sure that you don't put a percent sign after the stop loss. All right, just put in the number. So if it's 5.6%, just put in 5.6. It was just an error when the calculator was made. But yes, back to what you were saying, Crypto Jungle. Indicators are the root of all evil, okay? Thinking about thoughts is destructive, all right? So if you turn everything down into simple if this and that statements based off of single points in time, all right, you're going to have significantly better results when it comes to trading. Indicators are there to help you, but they are not there to do the work for you. They're not there to tell you when to get into a trade and when to get out of a trade. That is based on price action. So I like the RSI. It works for me. It's my favorite tool. But when you have like 1,000 different indicators on your screen, there's people that have EMAs, SMAs, MACD, stochastics, RSI, custom indicator. They have 1,000 different things on their screen. All right, and there's some people that can still see through the noise. All right, and it does help them. But for the average person, it is just that, noise. All right, you'll be sitting there and you go, all right, the RSI says I should be focusing on a long, but the MACD histogram hasn't ticked up to the upside yet, but we have gotten across to the upside on the stochastics, but the market cipher money flow is going down. I have no clue what's happening. I don't have to worry about that. I don't even need indicators. I can just trade off a price action. Now, indicators help me know when to not get into a short or a long. I love them for that, but they don't tell me when, okay, because they are lagging indicators. As well as that goes back to the conspiracy theory. Why are these indicators public if they're so powerful? There are ways that they can trick you into positions in order to add to their pockets. All right, indicators, not all what they're cracked up to be. Here's an article about them. My OG hyper Bitcoin shit is truthless and looks quite interesting. An article about what? Oh, degenerators. I'll look into that. Let me go ahead and copy that over. Actually, we can probably take a look at it right now. I'll bring it up in a different screen here. So I see what you're saying. Okay. But that's going to happen. Bitcoin is the big daddy. All right. So the Bitcoin equivalent comparative to an altcoin is going to go down because they're never going to be the amount that a Bitcoin is. All right. But I don't think you should be focusing on the USD equivalent. I mean, the Bitcoin equivalent. The USD equivalent is what you should be focusing on. Good job, man. So you're starting with $100. We started with $100 last night, which was today is exactly 1 month. 1 month into the $100 account. And so far, at the current moment in time, we are sitting at about $1,777. Last night, we peaked at 2,300. All right. With the addition of this Ethereum trade, if we do go to our full targets, I'll be at $4,000 by the end of all 3 of these trades. So if that does happen, we'll call it 40x in a month. Do you still use Market Cipher? Nah. Just RSI. I'm boring. Legend. You are legendary. Already up $100 on the Ethereum trade. Yeah, because if I win this trade, all right, if I win this trade, I'll make 2.23 Ethereum. So 2.23 times 800, which is what we're going to be taking profits at. So that's going to add an additional 1,784. So without the addition of the Ethereum trade from last night, we were already at 2,300. So 2,300. All right. From there, we're still going to be using 10% risk. So the next time that we take a breakout trade is going to be $400 risk. All right. So if I do that, the next time that we get a breakout of a range, my account is probably going to go from $4,000 to 15,000. And then from there, it's probably going to go from 15,000 to about 40,000. So we're only a couple of consolidations away from a 100,000 account. I'm using 10% risk. So at the time of the trade, I had about $1,500 in my portfolio, not 2,000. So I was using $150 risk and 33x leverage. Do you do Signal somewhere? So I offer personal lessons. So if you guys want to sign up for the one-on-ones, those are $450. I think that's an appropriate amount of money because you're going to have personal time with me, as well as that you get a lifetime access to the Telegram group, which is where I post my trades, my setups, and as well as that you get access to the Discord group, which we have a weekly meeting every Thursday at 8 p.m. EST, and then every Saturday, I think at 12. I don't show up to the Saturday ones, but I will be showing up to the Thursday ones. You wouldn't reduce your risk at 4,000. When would you? At 10,000. Yeah. So this is how it works. Between the portfolio amount of 1,000 to 10,000, I am remaining at 10% risk. Okay. But once we get to 10,000, I drop it back down to 5% risk, because if we make a trade at $900, I'm using $900 risk. If we make a trade at $9,000 of the portfolio, we're using $900 risk. Okay. Once we get to 10,000, we're only using $500 risk. So you go, but I thought the point was to make more money using less percentage. But you have to think, all right, once we get to $30,000, all right, we're still using 5%, but now we're using $1,500 risk. it's an exponential growth, man. It happens very quickly. Only a couple trades and you're to an incredible amount of money. So, sorry. Fib extensions are if you want to find targets going up or down. Fib retracements are if you're trying to find targets within a range. Okay. So right here. All right, let's go ahead and use fib retracements. All right, our top was here and our bottom was here. All right. Usually what happens is you're going to have the range be created, and then you want to go back down to retest the 0.382 right here, the 38.20. All right. And then we got to bounce. Sometimes you can go back down. All right. Now, we could say that 1.618 was our target, but we just blew right past that. All right. But if we go ahead and say that this is a single uptrend here, okay? So sometimes uptrends are not just a straight line, but rather a logarithmic curve, all right? So you can see right here, we have an uptrend that was broken, okay? So then we go to the bottom of that uptrend and we get fib extensions, trend-based fib extensions. So we're looking at trends rather than a range. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put our top here and our bottom here. Okay, now your most important supports and resistances when it comes to Fibonacci's is the 0.382, 0.618, the 1, the 0, the 1.618, and all of the 0.618s from there. All right, so right here, okay, we're going to go ahead and mark out those most important supports and resistances. So we're going to do the 1, and you can see the 1 is lining up with the shorter term time frame targets of about $26,000. All right. So we are currently above the 1 on the macro trend, not the macro trend, but medium. All right. So you can see that we held the 0.618 as support and the 0.786 as resistance. And we never went back down to retest the 0.382. It was kind of our resistance. All right. So I would say that after we break this next range, the next target is going to be a little bit above $30,000, like a blow off top above the psychological resistance. So if we don't get back down below $26,000 on the averages and we hold that as support, we're going to have momentary small time frame resistance like we did here. But the next place that we're really going to hold any significant resistance will be at about $30,000, which makes sense from a psychological standpoint. At $4,000, if you did 5%, you'd still be using more money than you are now. Yes, I would. I'd be using about 200 bucks. But I understand that if I use 10% risk, I am taking a chance on losing a little bit of money if we do lose some trades, but it only takes one more trade with 10% to get significantly above $10,000. All right. But if I did 5%, I am risking the fact that I might still be stuck at 5%, whatever it might be. See what I'm saying here? Hopefully that makes sense. I know it's kind of jumbled, but all right. Low battery. Let me go ahead and switch out to the other earpiece and let this one charge. Oh, ow. Just hit myself in the... All right. So right now, all right, after this trade, let's go ahead and calculate this. All right. Let's see. All right, so it's going to take a hot second. What I want to do here is estimate the next couple potential trades here. All right. So actually, let's literally just ballpark it. Let's say that on the lower end of things, usually I'm in a trade on Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum all at the same time because they usually break out around the same time. So typically a normal trade is around a 7 restored ratio, maybe a little bit higher. But let's say between all 3 coins, I have about a 21 restored ratio. All right. So if at the end of all 3 of these trades, and I take the next set of trades, I'm at $4,000. All right. So then if I'm using 10% risk, I'll be adding 210% to the portfolio. Okay. So that will put me at 12,400. All right. So then let's say the next set of trades is about a 21 restored ratio. It could be more, could be less. Who knows? I'm just ballparking. This is just making shit up on the fly. All right. If I'm using 5% risk, all right, so 5% would be about 620 bucks. So then we go ahead and do $620 times 21. That's an additional $13,000. All right. So I'll be adding an additional, oh, I forgot. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to be adding another 105%. No, so 105%, my bad. 105% to the portfolio. That brings us up to about 25. And then let's just say that it keeps that steady for a while. All right. So a couple different sets of trades. Then we're at 100,000. Okay. Then we're using about 2% risk. So 2% risk would come out to about $2,000. So if we hit that same kind of ratio of about 21 restored ratio across all 3 trades, that'll be adding about 42% to the portfolio each consolidation plus breakout. So that would put us at about 42%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 more consolidations after reaching $100,000 will be the point that we hit 1 million. So couple months. Oh, you guys can't hear me? Hello? No, you can hear me. I see it right there. No? It's showing up on the voice meter, my mic input. Can you hear me? Hello? Yo. Absolutely not. Just blatant. Stop. Okay. So you guys heard everything that I was talking about. 10,000, get it to 100,000 is going to take about 4 different consolidations, and then 7 consolidations until we get to 1 million. That's the plan. All right. Obviously, I'm going to try to make it go as far as we possibly can. If we get to 2 million, 3 million, whatever it might be. This is $100 to me. So if we make $1 million off of this, it's free money. So what I'm probably going to do, like, let's say we make $1 million. I'll probably do a $100,000 giveaway on Livestream. Yeah. Well, what's your main account size? That is private. I don't mean to, be short with you, but that is private. Bro, can I just send you the $100 and you do it for me? No. No. Because if I do it for one person, I do trade for friends and family that I know personally, but the last thing that I want to do is get entangled with, strangers on the internet. I love you guys. You guys are my family. You guys support me. But in reality, we're strangers. Okay. So I have to make sure that I don't get into any legal trouble. And as well as that, I don't want a Bybit funding scam video made about me. So you can either sign up to the Patreon for just the Telegram group per month. That's about $50 a month. I feel like that's appropriate. But I've said it many times. I feel like this entire thing has been like an advertisement. Trust me when I say this. I've said it many times before. The same information is given on live streams as it is in the Telegram group and in the one-on-ones. But the one-on-ones, if you buy those, that's $450. You get lifetime. You get lifetime Telegram, lifetime Discord, and as well contingent on that you treat everybody correctly. If I have to kick you out, I have to kick you out. So be on good behavior. But as well as that, you get about 4 sessions with me personally, typically lasting about anywhere from 1 to 3 hours per session, depending on how much information needs to be covered, how fast you get the concepts, all that good stuff. Why don't you make a copycat bot that auto follows trades and charges monthly rate or a percent from trades? I've been asked these questions before, even back with the $100 account that we got to 10,000 and then wrecked it. Okay, so this could go sideways. This time around, I am being way more safe. We literally turned $100 into 10,000 in like 5 trades, literally in less than a week. All right. So, I mean, if a lot of like that would wreck me emotionally. So like, obviously to me, it's just a $100 investment because I'm doing it for me personally. But let's say 20 of you guys, okay, also linked up to that trading bot and then lost $100 each. Okay, you might not see it as a big deal because it's just $100, but now I feel like I've lost 2,100 for no reason. What age did you become a millionaire? 19 and a half. By the time I turned 18, I had 400 grand in my pocket. Obviously, for legal reasons, I didn't withdraw a lot of it. I spent a lot of money on stupid things, and I spent a lot of money on DoorDash. That's how I got fat. I was really lazy, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So then I picked up trading, and it changed everything. I met you guys, made the channel. You know, Market Cipher was a huge deal with that. If anything, Market Cipher has brought me a lot of success from having people introduced to me. That's the positives of it. With anything, I would say the community is what makes a product better. You know, Apple fanboys hang out with Apple fanboys. They talk about Apple stuff. It gives it more value. That's all. Fish, get out of the table. Go lay down, big boy. I'm in for the $100 thing too. Listen, I'm telling you guys my risk setups. You know, I'm showing you where I'm entering. If you guys truly want to follow along, you know, I'm not going to make a bot for it because that's too much responsibility. But there's nothing stopping you from copying me. But I would truly appreciate it if you really thought these things through. What I want you to do is when I post a setup in the Telegram, I don't want you just to blindly follow it. I want you to look at the information that I displayed. Most of the time, it's simple support and resistance, and that's how I work. That's how I keep things simple. But, you know, if you disagree, don't take the trade. I don't want you to be blind followers. I want you to use the information that I have and I give you and make a decision for yourself. That's what I want. I watched a video you made back in 2019. I probably looked like a crackhead back then. I was really skinny and I looked good, but my charts were a mess. Absolute mess. Hello, Kite. Are you still using Market Cipher? Nah, not using Market Cipher anymore. Jurgen? Hold on, that's how you pronounce it. Late entry. Hi. Hello. How you doing? Welcome to Chili's. Do you stake any coins for passive income? Nope. I just trade. I'm going to join Patreon on the new month so I don't get double charged. Thank you. I forget about that every single month. if you guys are interested in just the Telegram and not the lifetime, make sure that you guys sign up on towards the first of the month, because since I have to offer the one-on-ones through the Patreon, I have to make it so that as soon as you join, it charges you once. That way I can't get scammed when it comes to the one-on-ones. All right. So make sure you get the most bang for your buck. Join on the first. That's going to be the best thing for you. Do you leverage trade? That's all I do, man. I mean, obviously I spot trade too, but I don't do futures. I don't do options. I just leverage trade. How much leverage? So we just entered a Ethereum long with about 33x. I am currently in a BTC long from 24,000 with about 50x. And then we are in a Litecoin long with about 22x. I have turned $100 to 5K a lot more times than suddenly a couple of mistakes and I'm back to zero. So typically why that is because you're not changing you're not scaling your risk to growth ratio. Okay. So as I hit these milestones, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, I am significantly reducing my risk by almost 50% each time. And in that way, I'm making a good amount of money, but I'm using less percentage. A lot of the times when we start small accounts, since there is that psychological aspect of, oh, I only spent $100 on this, but I had the potential to make this much. So let's go ahead and go all in and use high risk. All right. You are more likely to make those mistakes because it is not a significant loss psychologically, but you're losing a lot of money, man. All right. So if you don't scale your risk, you're going to lose. And that's how I lost my first $100 account. So it went from $100 to 10 grand in less than a week. We went to 13 grand actually in less than a week. And my monkey brain took over and said, I could have this 250K challenge done by the end of the month. So then I started using 100% risk and I lost. And because I said to myself, I have $13,000. If I hit a 100, like a 7 risk to reward ratio with 100% risk, I'll get to 70,000, and then I'll get to, $490,000 on the next trade. I only have to hit 2 more trades, and that's what screwed me up. Was impatience, without a doubt. Nah, you're missing the main thing. For us, it's getting a free mill of $100. In one of the books you recommend, it says at least 3-to-1 R&R. Why are you using 4-to-1? Just an extra safety measure. Let's see if I can find this correct chart. Where'd it go? Okay. I can't find the chart that has the mathematics to it, but essentially, if you have a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio set up, you only have to win like 30% of your trades to break even. So I go one step above, 1 to 4 risk reward ratio, which is very easy to get. A lot of times when we take trades, they are 10 risk reward ratios, 12 risk reward ratios, 7. All right, 4 is the minimum, but we hardly ever do a 4 risk reward ratio trade. So the cool thing about trading, it's not like a math test where if you get a 30%, you fail, right? You only need 30% to pass. Anything above that is extra credit, all right? So with a 4 risk reward ratio setup, you only have to win 20 to 25% of your trades to break even. So if you have anything higher than a 25% win ratio, you are in profit. See how that works? So that's why we focus on a minimum of 1 to 4. That way I'm promoting that you guys are looking for better and better trades, and as well as that, you have less of a chance of losing your entire portfolio. That's what we're going for. XRP from a chart perspective only. So we've talked about this a couple times over the course of the live stream. On the macro time frames, we have this diagonal downtrend, which is acting as support, and a diagonal uptrend, which is acting as support, creating a cradle formation in this 38 cent to 28 cent, 25 cent area. Okay. So this over the course of some time is going to turn back around. Now, on the time frames that we're looking at here, we have the possibility for a double bottom with the break of 37 cents being that horizontal resistance. If we do break 37 cents, more than likely we will go back up to retest this smaller time frame diagonal downtrend and probably land somewhere around 54 cents, which we then could either, one, get rejected and find support back above 44 cents, or two, blow right past it, or two, get rejected and come even further down, which would suck, but it's an option. Until we get back above, I would say, until we get back above 60 cents comfortably, it's up in the air. But right now, it's not up in the air. It's still bullish in my eyes, even from the smaller time frame perspective. Do you accept crypto for your group? Patreon VAT is very high for me. Yes. So you actually save a lot more money as well if you pay in crypto. If you message me on Discord, it's in the description. It's Kite with a capital K, #2136. If you message me there, talk about signing up. If you need more information on how it works, I can go ahead and give you that. And then we'll exchange Bitcoin addresses or Ethereum. You send it over. As soon as I get one confirmation, I'll add you to the Discord group and the Telegram group. And then from there, we'll start talking about when your first session is going to be. Some people like to wait a little bit. Some people like to get in the next day, if that is available. Yeah, all depending on what you want to do. How do we access your platform for your course? So my course is not a one size fits all. All right. I do one-on-one sessions. Okay. So if you want to go through the Patreon or message me directly, that's how you do it. But they are one-on-one sessions. We talk about information. You guys will be able to record the sessions, right? So that you can go back and watch it. And I always tell people, if you guys have friends or family that want to get involved in trading or crypto in general, you guys are, I don't care if you share that to, your friends, as long as you guys don't post those lessons on public platforms, inflating the, my value. That's inflating in a bad way. Because then, obviously, people don't need to come and go to it. But, like I said, everything is on the live streams. So, in a way, I'm already deflating my value, but I don't care. It's just kind of a respect thing. Would you recommend Market Cipher Kite? I'm thinking about getting it. I'm going to be honest. All right. This is my personal opinion. And I'm not trying to cut into anybody's profits. I don't think Market Cipher is worth the amount of money that people are paying for it. I think it's a great tool in the right hands, and if you learn how to use it correctly, you will have success with it. But it is not going to do the work for you. Market Cipher has the Apple effect, where you pay more for a product that costs less. Therefore, you add more value to it in, psychologically than it actually has. So it's going to make you overconfident, and you're more likely to lose money than make money. All right. That is my spiel. If you still decide to get it, absolutely, that is your prerogative, but please be careful. I just want the best for you no matter what you choose. All right. So that's my opinion. What's your win rate with that R&R? I suck at trading, so I would say anywhere between about 50 to 60% win ratio. All right. And it fluctuates all the time. I don't keep track of my trades, to be honest. I used to in the beginning. But once I started seeing very decent success, I didn't feel the need for it anymore. Let's see. MEF, thanks, Kite. No problem, man. I appreciate it. Crazy Kangaroo, got a bounce, Kite. See you, man. Have a good day. Wish you the best. I don't know how to pronounce your name. D's and Tars. I'm sorry. Gotta run, but great stream. As always, see you, man. See you too, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. God bless those that bless others. You, my friend, are blessed. We're all blessed because we're the same person, just in a different way. I use a free market cipher on TradingView, and it's pretty good, actually. Yeah. I mean, indicators are strong, but like I said, they are there to tell you if you should go ahead and enter long or short, but not when you should enter long or short. If I had a $100 for everyone who asked if you still use Market Cipher, I would have finished this $100 account challenge months ago. Oh, well, ain't that the truth, buddy? Can I look at Crow? Yeah, sure. Hopefully this is what you were talking about. All right, let's look at the daily chart here. It looks like we might be bullishly diverging. Yeah, we're bullishly diverging pretty damn hard here. All right, so you can see we're getting significantly higher highs on the RSI, or higher lows on the RSI, but we're getting lower lows on price action. So this is going to start curving. All right, you can already see it starting to curve here. It's going to bottom out sometime soon. All right, this is the daily perspective as well. It doesn't look like it's doing that off of any specific support and resistance in particular, but rather just creating a new one. It looks like as well, I mean, that's why we're kind of turning here. We have the diagonal support here. And yeah, I would assume this is going to form some sort of inverse head and shoulders, maybe a cup and handle, kind of looking like this. Create a horizontal, and then you'll have a breakout back to that target. Do you just trade crypto? I just trade crypto, but I do have stocks. So I was investing in Tesla back before it had its major run up, and then we sold all of it, put it into crypto, which was the most amazing thing I could have done. As well as that, ever since 2016, 2017, I don't exactly remember which year, I bought a significant amount of AMD stock back when it was about $7. And if I'm not wrong, we're like up in the 50s, maybe the 40s. 91. So stocks, I look at like a long time frame investment. So I really don't care from day to day. I did not know that it was a 91. It doesn't surprise me because with the release of the Ryzen 9 5000 processors, they are kicking Intel's ass. Intel doesn't stand a chance, man, when it comes to the new processors coming out. So I'm glad to see that this is doing well. But yeah, I bought it all the way back here, around that range. 2016. But I do not trade stocks. I just invest. But crypto I trade because the volatility is high. You can make lots of money. And with Bitcoin, the supports and resistances are really strong. So it makes it easier on your win-loss. How much does it cost for one-on-one session with you? So it's $450. I've said it too many times this live stream. All right. I hate saying it because I don't like the predatory practices that I see on a lot of channels. All right. So when I say it, I feel like I'm doing the same thing, but I know I'm not, but it sounds like it. And I'm always worried about what people think of me to a certain extent. I just want you guys to know that I have your best interest in mind. But it's $450. You get lifetime access to the Telegram and the Discord, and you get about 4 one-on-one sessions with me. If you need more, we'll work something out. But I have a lot of people that come for me for sessions. So I have to make sure that I'm using my time wisely. And if I already had 4 sessions with you, go back and rewatch the previous sessions, focus on particular mistakes, because something's going wrong there. If you are not consistently making money after 4 sessions, something is wrong. All right. Do you own any real estate? Not yet. I live in a trailer and I drive a 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee. All right. I can afford very nice things, but what's the point? I focus my investments on stuff that brings value to not only the channel, but me personally, and brings me a little bit of happiness. I love technology, so I buy, fancy 4K HDR monitors, the best mouse and keyboard in the game, the beastliest PC, soundproofing equipment, better camera, better lighting, TVs, stuff that I use, that I find value in. But what makes no sense to me is buying expensive clothing, like designer clothing. That's a waste of money. Buying a fancy car. I mean, to a certain extent, if you're like rich, like I'm wealthy, but I am not rich. All right. If you have money to blow, yeah, you can get a cool car because you can afford it. But to me, buying like a supercar makes no sense. All right. If you're paying over 200 grand for a car and you don't make at least like 5 mil a year, I think you're dumb. Personally. All right. I love you. You're my fellow human, but I think you're making the wrong decision because we got a speed limit, man. All right. So you're going no faster. And if you do, you got to pay tickets. And they go, well, I can afford the ticket. But can you afford to lose your license? All right. And as well as that, you're just paying for more gas for going the same speed limit. Doesn't make any sense. So my monthly gas bill, when it comes to my car, comes out to about $40 a month at most. I barely drive. So, I just haven't invested in a car yet. I'm completely content where I am. I'm moving here soon to my sister's house because my cousin moved out of her house and she needs somebody to help pay the bills. And she doesn't really like being alone. So I was going to move there. And that's going to give me enough time to plan out what I want to do in terms of land, real estate, all that kind of stuff. And as well as that, accumulate more capital. And I don't know exactly where I'm going to end up yet. I haven't decided. I would like Delaware because a lot of the Kite side of the family is over there. And I would love to be closer to my grandparents and my father. And land is cheap over there as well. But I haven't quite decided. Getting started seems overwhelming. How would you recommend a new trader get rolling? First, focus on the education side of things. All right, paper trade. Either use testnet on Bybit or just paper trade. All right, learn about support and resistance first. How to make if this and that trades. Then learn about indicators. And then really start structuring your risk management. What's your goal? Are you trying to make an absurd amount of money to pay for your family's real estate for the rest of its life? Or are you just trying to make more money to pay your bills? All right. So think about realistically where you want to be in a year. All right. And then you can structure a risk trading plan around that. All right. And then start slowly trading. Realize what your win-loss ratio is. And if it is good, you can start introducing more risk. And then from there, continue to grow. And you have to learn how to manage multiple accounts. You have to learn how to scalp, not the 5 minute, not the 1 minute, 1 hour scalps, and then swing trade and spot trade. There's a lot of layers. It is overwhelming, but introduce yourself slowly. Start with, a little bit larger time frame trades. All right. If you want to go just larger time frame spot trades, you can. If you want to go with a little bit smaller time frame leverage trades, you can. Start with one area of expertise, and then once you kind of master that, or at least you're adequate at it, because like I said, you don't need to be a master at trading to be successful and make money. You just need to be average. All right. So then you move on to the other expertise. If you started with scalping, move to swing trading, do that for a while, get used to that. And then once you start combining them all together, that's when you get that secret sauce and you're making money left and right. It's pretty incredible. Oh no. Oh, I thought you were saying Ethan as in we're going down significantly. Thank God we didn't. So we're back up to $2,000 on the portfolio. See, when we started last night, we were at 2,300. When we got on the live stream, we were at 1,500. I was patient. I was relaxed. I didn't exit because I'm losing my profit, and we're back up, and we're going to make a lot more than we would have anyways. So, where did you learn and study the majority of your fundamentals and technical analysis? I got started with, I would say one of the first major channels that I was watching when it came to technical analysis was Crypto Bitcoin Chris. So if you guys don't like me as a person, or you just don't want to go with the one-on-ones, Crypto Bitcoin Chris for $60 a month, I believe, offers a Telegram similar to mine. And he does really detailed setups, and he's a really good teacher. As well as that, if you buy the Patreon, you get access to videos. You know, kind of like a one-size-fits-all, but he's got a lot more people to handle than I do. So I started with him. He taught me all the basics, and then I got Market Cipher. And it's just been a long process of not just looking towards other people to solve my problems, but I'm a experienced psychedelic user. And what I will do is I will take, you know, a certain amount, and I will sit here and try to think of creative solutions to my problems. I thought of the risk reward calculator that way. I've thought about different strategies when it comes to how to play the market. Trying to think outside of the box and find a way that is simple yet effective, and not a whole lot of people are looking at. All right, and you might say, well, I'm sure that the majority of traders are trading exactly how you are. Are they really? All right. I am trading in the most simple way possible. Less indicators. Hello? Hello? I'm doing a live stream right now. Hey, buddy. Bye, buddy. But essentially, a lot of people they cloud themselves in 1,000 different situations. They add 1,000 different indicators. They're adding diagonals on top of diagonals and horizontals here and there and there and there. There's so many supports and resistances. I don't think that the majority of people are really... They think that they're dumbing down their potential when in reality you're really making it a lot better when you have less information. So that was one of the biggest breakthroughs I ever had was monkey. Just learning to calm the monkey brain. I mean, that's why I talk about it a lot. From my perspective, we are just biological computers. We are literally nothing but electrical impulses that grow. We're computers that grow out of the ground, essentially, if you want to look at it from that way. So we have this ability to see perspectives, which causes a lot of trouble. So the less perspectives that we need to see in order to make the correct decision, the better. We are held back by the limitations of PCs. We upgrade the hardware every 2 years significantly, or in small iterations. Human brain hasn't got an upgrade in quite a while. So I think it's not just something that happens over time, but it's something that happens through willpower. Enough generations thinking in a certain way, wanting to pursue something, they start to think and act and do things that promote that outcome. Therefore, there is a physical change to the system over a course of a long period of time, since we do have to rely on time and space matter. I would totally live in a trailer and drive a Lambo. And that's the next thing we read after going on that long tangent. Theta. We'll take a look at Theta. All right, so Theta token. All right, let's look at the daily. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You're gonna have to wait for a pullback, buddy. I'm sorry. Now on the 1 hour chart, all right, you've gotten a significant pullback. So this is what I'm talking about. Let's say that you exited too early, somewhere around here. All right, you wait for the pullback. It showed you a top, and then you can take a breakout trade relative to that top, and then wait for this. Once it comes back up to the next top, take your profits. If you have a breakout trade, you re-enter and then continue the process until it actually builds a significant long-lasting range. So this is your top. You're not going to be able to enter another trade unless we get a double bottom. All right. You can either enter on the actual bottom or the break of the horizontal, or we get back above $1.70. Andrew, Brofist buddy, can you show us one of your setups? Okay. So we're gonna go to the Telegram. All right. So this is the past 3 setups that we talked about. These were posted, around Christmas or before Christmas. So we talked about the double bottom here, which was right here. All right. So we talked about the double bottom on Ethereum. All right. You could have entered there. And as we were holding the double bottom, I was saying, we need to break this diagonal resistance or this could start to turn into a descending triangle with a target of $80. Just kind of pre-warning you that that is an availability. But once we broke it, it's pretty much no longer a certainty. Right here, we were talking about the breakout on BTC, entry 24,189 with a stop at about 23,964. And then look, take profit to be determined from price action, right? That's the biggest part about price discovery is you have to let price action show you what that take profit is going to be. Now on Litecoin, that's a different situation because we have the break of the previous high. So we have an entry at 124, stop loss at 121. But we have a macro resistance in the way at 142. Therefore, we're going to take our profit either at or a little bit before then. So right here, this is Ethereum, right? Entry 675. We were talking about the break of the previous high. Now, luckily, things worked out in a certain way because if you would have taken this exact entry as it happened, you would have gotten stopped out once, but then you could have re-entered and we're already back up a good percentage. But essentially, entry 675, stop 664, and then take profit 808, which is the next macro resistance. So that's a couple of my setups so far, and those are all coming to fruition slowly. The one that I'm really excited about here is going to be ETH, because we're already up almost $20 from our entry here, and we're up 82% on the trade, and we're up $268 in terms of value. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and post that. Is sharing on? Yeah, sharing's on. Sign into chat. Open a web browser. Pop this in here. There you go. Do you think BTC will dump? Well, it kind of already has. So we talked about the fib retracements in terms of what needs to happen in order for what to happen. We are currently above the 1, okay? As long as we continue to stay above $26,000, our next target is $31,500, okay? So, I mean, look, this rejection right here before this huge run-up wasn't even that large. It was about 5%, 6%. All right, right here, all right, same thing, about 5, 6%. Then we might have a couple bounces, maybe. And then we might have a run up, or maybe we might get up to the 1.4, up to 30,000, and then, we'll see how it works out. All right. The main thing that I'm looking for here is watching the 4 hour. Okay. And as we approach closer and closer back to the previous high of about $28,000, if we have gotten a bounce off of the 50 on the 4-hour RSI, okay, I will not be taking profits at $28,000. I will be waiting. Probably I'll be taking profits. To be determined. to be determined. All right. One of my favorite sayings I've made is we are just biological computers running the software of the ego. I view our personalities as radar systems that keep us from bumping into shit. That's all it is. You know, a lot of people like to say, it's your soul. I don't believe in souls. I believe in soul. There's one. All right. It's like a sun shining into different windows and refracting the light differently. Different colors, different shapes. It's all the same thing. We just don't have the perspective to see that it's the same thing. $2,200. I could stream all day if I wanted to. We're at the 3-hour mark. I'll stream for a little bit longer. I'm not tired at all. I like this. I like talking. We're just chillaxing. But I do need music. Oh, I just punched you guys. I'm so sorry. You okay? You doing all right? All right. Let me get some music in my eardrums. I don't like sitting in the room too silent. Even though I just have the sound of my voice constantly. Is it linked up? I love you. I love you. I have to chillax. ADA. Absolutely. Let's go and look up ADA. All right, so we've been talking about this range on ADA when it comes to the larger time frames. We talked about the possibility of hitting a double bottom here, or, you know, bottoming out here. Hey, what do you want? What? What? What do you want? You okay? Okay. Lay down. What were we talking about? Okay, so a break of 17 cents is what needs to happen when it comes to ADA. Let's go ahead and put some trend-based Fibonacci extensions on this. All right, so the next technical target would be, let's say, the 1, and then we could possibly come back down to the 0.618. After the break of the 17-cent resistance, we're looking for about 22 cents. So pretty good increase. That would be about 25%. A little bit more, a little bit less, depending on where you get your entry, exit. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but you said first time here, but really enjoying your stream and the way you're teaching, man. Good job. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for choosing my thumbnail. I appreciate it, man. Do you want the heater on? Are you cold? What do you want? You got food and water. Can you FedEx me some psychedelics so I can do some back testing? Negative, Ghost Rider. Hey. All right, now you're just getting antsy. All right? No. All right, I love you, but you can't act this way. Hey, no. Hey. Hey. No. Go lay down. Let's see. Zero crypto. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. No problem. Why do you leverage at 50%? Doesn't that make you break even at 20%? Why do you leverage at 50%? Doesn't that make you break even at 20%? Can you rephrase that for me, Eric? I don't quite know what you mean by why do you leverage at 50%? Doesn't that make you break even at 20%? I don't quite get what you're trying to say there. Do you stream every day? No, this is kind of like a surprise live stream since things are really starting to kick off. I typically stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at about 12 p.m. EST or 1 p.m. EST. Fluctuates kind of based on my sleep schedule. Hey. Love you. Hey. All right. Come on. Come on. You can sit in my lap, but you're not getting on the desk. Meaning the cost to leverage trade is 20% in fee. Absolutely not. The cost to leverage trade is based on contract size. All right. So if I have $1,000, all right, that I'm using to trade, all right, and I use 10x leverage, my contract size is 10,000. All right. So the 10,000 is what my fees are based off of. All right. So on Bybit, if you are marketing in, marketing out, you have a 1.5% fee. Okay. So in order to market in, market out, I'm going to be paying, actually, is it 1.5% or is it? No, it's 0.15%. Okay. So you're going to be paying 0.15% of $10,000. So about $10 to enter and exit the trade. Okay. And as well as that, you have funding fee, which is every 8 hours, it takes a very small fee out of the current trade. If you're in profit, it takes that fee from your profit. If you're not in profit, it takes that fee from your margin. Okay. So you are nowhere close to that 20% mark. Nowhere close. Actually, it might be a 1.5% fee, which would come out to about 15 bucks. But that's still not bad. If you're using $1,000 and you hit a 7 risk reward ratio, you're willing to lose $1,000. You're going to make 7 grand. So paying $15 out of 7 grand is nothing. That's 0.7%. Right? No. About 2%. I've been following you since I was in the CryptoFace community. I'm using a different strategy than yours, but watching you helps me simplify my strategy. Thanks for the inspiration and for being humble and honest. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That's what it's all about. Learning from others. You know, you can copy them to a certain extent to help you along, but it's about developing your own path. That's what trading is about. You know, whether it's from a technical perspective or from a psychological perspective. Play some crown candles and wicks. Do you always leverage at 50x? No. My leverage varies depending on my stop loss and the type of trade that I'm taking. So sometimes, you know, I could make the same exact amount of money using 1x leverage. All right. But the reason why you don't want to do that is portfolio exposure. All right. Having less of your portfolio on hot wallets makes it so that it's less risky from a hacking perspective, or if anything went wrong and you couldn't get that crypto back. So you can make just as much money, but you have less at risk when it comes to the exchanges. Hi, Kite. Why do you believe in the Gann Fans and how they are different from normal support and resistance? I don't know why Gann Fans work, but they do. It's one of those magical things based on geometry that it just seems to respect. You know, I don't use it in my daily support and resistance, you know, trades and stuff like that. It's cool to look at, and I used to try to use it for trades in the past, and I was successful with it. But that being said, it's one of those more complicated methods that if I was to have it on my screen during the live streams, I guarantee you every single live stream, someone's going to be asking me, why do they work? How do they work? You know, how do I set them up? How do I make trades off of them? When in reality, you can make just as great trades using simple support and resistance. So there's no real reason to use that complicated method. That's why I strayed away from it. You have gotten hair all over me, dude. Sorry, I'm listening to music that you guys can't hear. I'm trying to appeal to YouTube, okay? I don't really think YouTube cares if there's copyrighted material because they get their money either way. But I don't make anything from the live streams in terms of ad revenue. I think if I have a monetized live stream that does decently well with about 500 views and a good amount of watch time, I think I get roughly about $3 per live stream. But that being said, I want to, you know, if there's a song out there that I want you guys to hear, you know, I really, really like, I'll play it. Because, you know, the money from the live stream is insignificant, doesn't really matter to me. But I just want, you know, the music to be used. So you only use RSI and support and resistance. Correct. I do use the MACD from time to time, and I'll check other indicators just to see how they're working out. But there's no reason for me to use anything else besides support and resistance and RSI. Can you explain capital gains tax on profits taken from crypto? So essentially, any crypto that is exchanged for US dollars is then taxable. Now, trades are taxable as well, but there's no way to prove that I'm trading. Okay? So when I withdraw from Coinbase, that's all they know about. So I pay my taxes on that. Everything else, I have not withdrawn from crypto, so I barely pay any taxes. Last year, I paid about $30,000 in taxes. What I did was I have TurboTax, and they have a crypto section. I went to Coinbase, I downloaded the tax file, and then I dragged and dropped it into TurboTax. They calculated how much I owed, and then I paid it. Next session definitely needs to be around money management and making winning trades actually profitable. Making winning trades actually profitable. Well, I mean, if they're a winning trade, aren't they profitable to begin with? So, to answer your question, Zero Crypto, all right, how do you find good entries with simple TA? All right, so right here, all right, let's say that we didn't trade any price action until just recently, okay? So the market told us that this is a resistance, and the market told us that this is a bottom, all right? Unless we break one of those, the only thing that matters in all of Ethereum at that current point in time is those two supports and resistances. So when we broke this resistance, it's as simple as saying if we are above it, we will go to the next resistance. And the next major resistance is 800. So therefore, you go ahead and say, okay, I want to get my entry somewhere around here, and I want to have my stop loss below that newfound support resistance. And that way I'm at least safe. You know, we would have gotten wicked out once if I would have made that trade on the initial break. But that being said, essentially, this is it. You wait for highs and lows to be broken. You take the breakout trades. If your indicators are signifying that there is a loss in momentum as you approach a resistance, you short it. You short the. If you ask your granddad how to trade, what's he going to say to you? Buy low, sell high. It is as simple as that. You just have to wait until the market shows you what that high and low is. And then from there, it's a cakewalk. Well, I mean, 30K in taxes sounds like a lot, but it's really not. So if you make $100,000 on a W-2, you really don't see a lot of that money, and you typically get a refund. So you're going to be paying that money either way. It's just, in this case, I have to pay it because they don't automatically take it out of a paycheck. You want to sit down or you want to go lay down? What? The $800 resistance comes from 2017. Absolutely. So, fish, don't touch that. So on Ethereum, if we go to the daily chart, right, you can see that the last major uptrend. Okay, so I draw my supports and resistances based off of trends. Okay, so if we're looking at the macros here, all right, we have a downtrend that was broken, which made an uptrend, and then a downtrend, which was broken and made an uptrend, which was broken and made a downtrend, which was broken, which was broken, and which was broken. So what's important here is the highs and lows of trends, not necessarily each individual support and resistance, but rather looking at it from a whole. See how that works? So that's how I would build a macro chart. So then you want to look for patterns after you get your supports and resistances. You can see right here, it's a double bottom. So the main focus of this entire pattern is going to be this support resistance right here at about $330. All right, so now once you break that, you either want to wait for the retest or just enter immediately. This is where I got my macro ETH long from. And that puts our long-term target to $1,300. All right. Now there is a macro support and resistance in the way at about $800. So that's why on the short-term time frames, we're making sure that we take our profit ahead of time. All right. Fish. I don't know if I can handle you being in my lap, buddy, like this. It's kind of distracting. It's uncomfortable. It really is. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Be good. I'm going to end the live stream soon. I'll take you out. Be a good boy. Mike T, hello. How you doing, buddy? Fish. No, go lay down. Go lay down. No more crying. Go. Go. Was nice. No more. The calculated best leverage amount to use is not showing for me. The result, anyone knows why this is? I want to use this for my trading. Restart the calculator, and where it says stop loss, make sure that you do not put a % sign. Okay? Or else it's going to give you either no number at all, or it's going to give you a stupid number. As well as that, sometimes, depending on how large your portfolio is, it will show a bunch of number signs. All right? You need to extend the length of the cell in order to make sure there's enough room to display the information that it needs to. Exactly. But trading is a puzzle. The smaller time frames are just a means to an end when it comes to the larger time frames. All right, so start with the higher time frames and work your way in. Build the puzzle from the inside out or from the outside in. All right, with that being said, I think today was a really good live stream. The longest live stream we've had in a while, to be honest. Thank you for everybody that's new that showed up. We peaked today at like 90 something viewers. I really do appreciate it. I'm really happy to see the consistency that I'm putting into the channel is being reciprocated in new viewers and continuous viewers. You know, I've had, you know, hiatuses in the past where, you know, I get in my own head and I leave for a couple months. And then I come back and I expect, you know, nobody to be there, but then you guys come back like nothing happened. And, He barely even mentioned it. So for everybody that supported me throughout the last year, thank you very much. It was one of the most pivotal years in my life, I will say. And to have you guys there throughout the entire process, to help me through it, to talk, you know, about Bitcoin, about life, whatever it was, I really do appreciate it. And I look forward to next year. We're going to come out with a lot of money, and hopefully a lot more knowledge. So that way we can continue to make the best situation for us as individuals and our families, whether it's present or future. I'm really blessed to have you guys. And I just want to let you guys know, I appreciate it. And hopefully as this $100 account continues to grow, I can give back to you guys in a way that I would have never thought possible. So we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. Hope you guys have good days. You know, I'll be on tomorrow, hopefully, around 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. We'll see how price action is shaping up around that time. And then the rest is history. Today's the 27th, so we get about 3 more days, maybe 4 more days until about 4 more days until New Year's. So that's going to be one of the biggest live streams. I don't have anything like special planned. I just want to be there to count down the ball, say Happy New Year's to guys, all that good stuff. No. All right, Fish wants to say goodbye. He says goodbye. He's getting on my nerves right now. He just wants attention. Let's see. I appreciate the stream, buddy. I had a great time, and as always, leave learning something new. Keep it up, my friend. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you, John. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, buddy. Todd, Ryan, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Alexander, of course. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Zero, thanks for all. Thank you, man. I love you too. Thanks for the stream, man. Take care. Tyler T, thank you very much, man. Thanks for showing up. Once again, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Simao. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. But he said, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you, man. I appreciate you as well. You the man. Thank you for the knowledge. Mr. J Squad. Thank you. Thanks for showing up to the live streams. Crypto Chris, great stream. Appreciate your time as always. Thank you. Crypto Chris, thank you very much, man. Alrighty. I know we got a couple more people to say goodbye to. But yeah. Thank you very much. I love each and every single one of you. And hopefully I can help a lot of you to, you know, have better lives. I don't really support money as a concept, but it's the society we live in. So you got to learn how to utilize it. It will be just me and you soon. Stop. Lou Rock, thanks, bro. Stay safe till next time. Appreciate it. Thank you, man. I appreciate you as well. James Dunmeyer, Sea Kite and Fish, thanks for your trading wisdom. Appreciate it. See you, buddy. Thank you, man. I'll see you next time. See you guys tomorrow. You know, if things keep moving the way they're moving, we could just switch to a daily schedule. Who knows? And pretty soon, after the New Year's, after the holidays, I have a person that is going to be doing my editing. And that reminds me, I have not contacted everybody else that applied for that position. So if you're watching this, I'm very sorry for not telling you if you weren't the one that was chosen. I hope you understand there was many different people that applied to the job, and I had to go with the best option. So I appreciate everybody that wanted to do that. Thank you very much. And to Bitbird for making the graphics for the channel. I always mispronounce it or just kind of forget it. Where's Matt? Corduroy, thank you for the music, man. I really do appreciate it as well. All right, with that being said, guys, I appreciate your time today. Hopefully you guys have a happy holiday season. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Eat well, stay well, trade well. Goodbye. All right. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.